All right, everyone. Welcome in to a new episode, a very special episode of Gridiron Dynasty, a fantasy football podcast. Tonight, it's draft night, boys. You ready? No, we're not ready.
No, not at all.
We're not
even
ready.
close.
We're not ready.
No.
Okay. No. So we've been talking about it for the past couple episodes. We started a league, and it's not a league of extraordinary gentlemen by any means. However, it is a oh, look, people are starting to join in. As you'll see from at the top of the screen right here, people will be joining in as it goes along because we wanted everyone together for this league for the draft. So people are going to be coming in. People are probably going to be leaving because the internet sucks. But what we have set up right now is, if you can see the gigantic D on the screen, is for the draft board. What that is going to do is we will have the draft board put up during the draft so you guys can see everything that's going on. You'll see every little bit of it. As you can see, Pat is now presenting it. So you'll see the picks as they are being made right from the start. So right now joining us, we have Pat, my co-host as always, Mike Merrill, who you guys met last podcast, Andrew Sargenti, who you met last podcast. The one with the blinking red eyes, I don't know who that is.
Is Rory.
Is it Rory? Okay, I thought it could be actually. It could be Gardner Minshew. I don't know. And then the other new person, new face in here is Matt, who is my brother. Okay.
It's backwards.
Rory, it's back.
Rory, it's backwards.
Rory. Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence.
I'm gonna say must die.
Must die? Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be must die, right? Okay, excuse me. So, so the people that weren't on the podcast last episode, we did a little bit of introductions for the people that didn't know you. So, Matt, if you'd like to give a little introduction about yourself, that'd be great.
I'm Matt. I'm Tim's brother. I've been doing this since high school, so I've graduated with a couple people in here, and it's been a long time. And this is my second Dynasty League. Timmy got me started in one 2 years ago, I think it is.
We're entering the third year.
Yeah, so.
This is the person who I have brought up multiple times on the podcast. Infamously
took Gronkowski.
Yeah, took Rob Gronkowski in the first round of a rookie draft. But don't worry, I got Justin Jefferson too. That's cool, Matt. But
I did. I got Justin Jefferson with like the 17th pick.
Yep, you could have had Antonio Gibson too, and maybe you would have won the championship last year. But alas, I did. So
it's hard when injuries kill your team. So
yeah, it happens. So Rory / Gardner Minshew left, so I don't have another introduction to go to. So Matt, you're sitting at the second pick. What are you hoping for at pick 2?
I don't think there's anything to hope for. I pretty much think that the first I was listening to the YouTube video the other day, and pretty much the top 4 are pretty much going to go in the top 4. I would think the top 2 are pretty obvious that it's going to go Mahomes and then Josh Allen. Unless Ricky wants to give me Mahomes, then I'm perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, Ricky is not stupid, but he's also not like fantasy smart sometimes. So he might.
He's not Taco, right?
He's not Taco. No, Taco's Mike. So for you viewers at home, unfortunately, during unforeseen circumstances, one of our league mates will have to auto draft tonight. It's out of his control. It's out of everyone's control. It's not something that could have been avoided at this point. So the good thing with using Sleeper, it has the rankings set up correctly. And so when it auto drafts, it will pick the correct people for him. So that'll be good at least. So it's not like it'll just take like Aaron Rodgers in the first round or something like that. It'll take who's
Which
supposed
stinks
to be there.
because that's something he would do, right?
What's up?
Because that stinks because that's something that Mike would do. He would be that guy that takes the crazy person in one of the rounds, right?
Yeah, probably. That would be a Mike move, 100%.
Although we don't really
Daniel
know
Jones
what
in the
auto
first
draft
round.
will do either.
Oh.
We
And
don't
here's
know if,
Mr. First overall pick himself joining in. I don't know where. There he is. So joining us now is Ricky Callen. He is the number 1 pick in the draft. Ricky, can you tell the folks at home some stuff about you? Okay, well, Ricky's on mute, and he has to
cannot
figure out
put
how to
his
take us off of mute.
microphone.
I fixed it before. I thought I was muted beforehand. I guess I wasn't. No strategy. Just going in blind, and we're gonna try this out. I still wish we were on Yahoo.
Oh my god. Ricky's
That's why we
salty.
didn't invite him here. How did he get to this draft?
I don't
I
know.
thought we deleted his invite to the link. Wait a minute.
Right. We probably should have. So, Ricky,
Now,
the big...
the only question I have, you are recording this, right? Because this is going to be a hard one to start over again.
Crap. Did I record it? Yeah, I did. And I have audio going, too.
You.
I know. I'm very proud of myself,
proud of
too.
you.
Can you guys hear my
Double
fan
proud.
going? Can you guys hear the fan? No? We good?
No.
All right. So, I think the burning question that we all have right now is, who's going number 1? So, Ricky, can you give us a little insight here? Who you looking at number 1? Did you do any research? Or you going into this blind?
Completely blind. I'm just going with the flow.
Ricky, you start the flow. So it's no glowing with the flow. You start the flow tonight.
I mean, probably gonna go with Mahomes because why not?
Attaboy. That's who I would recommend too. So
He is listed at number 1, so
Well, that's
there's no more flow than that.
that's kind of telling me to pick here, so it might as well pick there.
yeah. All right. Now we have joining us from last podcast episode, Matt Sutz wearing a Jets jersey. I am very much a fan of it. Attaboy, who is it?
Already
Who are you
forfeited
repping?
this year.
Oh, you're repping yourself.
Himself.
I love it. Love it. All right, so we are, what are we, 5 minutes away from this draft from starting?
I don't really know how this thing starts. I'm hoping it just starts itself. So, yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay.
There's a button that says start draft, but I really don't think I'm supposed to press that.
No, I don't think you're supposed to. It's not 8 o'clock yet, Pat.
If
Don't
it
press the
doesn't
button.
start at 8 o'clock, I'm going to click something. We'll see what happens from there.
And just joining us now is Alex Mazzola from our last podcast episode also. So it's good. We got the people from last episode back in for this episode. So this is going to be their second time around. Then we got a couple of new guys with Matt and Ricky. And hopefully Rory will jump back in. There are some people that told me they weren't going to be able to make it tonight. So that sucks, but we'll deal with it.
As long as they're here for the draft part.
Right. So this is exciting. How many of you, like Matt and Ricky, you guys ever done a Superflex League before? No. Okay. Thanks for the verbalization of that. No, Ricky. I appreciate you shaking your head vigorously, though.
I don't want.
If he's on mute or not, he's just going to stick with his nodding.
I don't want to hear the. I don't want you to hear the fan going. That's all.
Oh, I don't hear it at all. To be honest with you, when you're talking, I don't hear it.
That might be because he's talking. If he's silent, you never know.
I don't hear anything.
Also, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Andrew Sargenti for my cup for tonight. And
Oh, nice. What you drinking, Pat?
whiskey.
That's a lot of whiskey.
Wedding cup. It's a lot of draft.
I myself am drinking a beer, so, and repping the Big Brothers Fire Department, so. Oh. Anyone else in partaking in alcoholic beverages for this draft tonight? Because I know I'm going to need it. I have to put up with you people. Well, I know Sutz is participating in something else.
Damn right.
I'm being very adventurous.
Ooh, is that
Jets
vodka?
green.
Oh yeah, straight, 100%.
Meryl, you drinking vodka too? Yeah, Sutz over there. Yeah, you're living that Colorado life, so.
I mean, gotta. I will grab a beer though. I got beer in the fridge.
I mean, that puts another definition to the Rocky Mountain High life. Yes, I know I combined 2 beers there. Alex, stop. You're Mr. Pun City over there, so don't give me a thumbs down. Okay. So, since we essentially know pick 1 and pick 2 now, I'm sitting at 3 and you guys aren't getting told crap. So,
we have Sutz. Are you in the draft room already? No, Sutz has walked away. I should probably turn around before I ask that question. I know Rory is posting in the draft room, so hopefully he's in there. Everyone else seems to be
Matt's
lit
not
up.
in there.
like they're there. You could just ask your question, Ricky.
I don't want to, I don't want to overstep here.
Did you really raise a
I
hand?
did raise my hand. Of
Oh
course, man.
God.
Welcome to the teacher life. Is
You
it
have to call
anyone
him,
just
Tim.
using the website, not the app?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm using the
I think
website.
almost everyone is attempting to use the website. It is much clearer
Yeah.
Is
than
it
the app.
is it spazzing for you like the?
No.
All right.
Not
Is
yet.
there a way of showing all 12 teams on it? Because mine only shows 10, and I have to scroll side to side.
Are you on your laptop?
Did
Yes.
you make your screen as big as possible?
Yes,
Did you
Reduce
lower the
on your
zoom?
screen to 80%.
Yeah.
I can probably do that.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
85.
Oh, you guys are smart.
The sweet spot.
Oh no! Do you have to go potty? You should go potty. Go. No, I cannot come with you, Mom. You can come with you.
Pat, is
Actually, you
Sean-
can go potty by yourself.
Pat, is Sean going to be joining us? Or
Yeah.
He just came on now.
Okay, so we're just waiting on Suts to join the draft room right now.
Yep.
He looks dumbfounded.
How do I do this? I have to go into sleeper? What?
I thought I was just
there
supposed to
he is.
act sleeper.
Oh, the
I know.
draft room. Look at this.
I thought I was supposed to go to sleep.
Damn, this is cool.
Everyone but Michael is here, which makes sense.
Well, Berman keeps jumping in and out. I'm assuming
Yeah,
he's
well.
doing this from his phone because he's playing video games right now. That's why he can't join us for the video call.
Must be
That
rough.
important, huh?
Very important.
So,
Okay, this is
35 seconds.
all
What are the,
right.
what are the
Long
1 and
as
2
it
picks
starts
that I
by
missed?
itself.
What are the
Uh,
Well, Mahomes and Allen are going to be your 1 and 2.
No, it's Tim Tebow and Chad
assume it's
Ochocinco.
this point, unless some remarkable questions come in here.
Unless Ricky is throwing us all off.
One.
You're telling me Ocho Cinco is available? I can take him at 2?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes,
You
you
have to
can.
take Gronk. That's fine.
Yeah, you can take Gronk Matt at 2.
I might take Gronk. I'm not taking him in the number 2, but I might just take him just to annoy you guys.
Oh, yeah, shocking.
I mean, it won't be annoying because he'll
Take him
just
right
move a
before
player
you would
down for
take
me.
Justin
So
Jefferson.
Oh no,
Somebody's got to fill in for Mike.
someone take a player that I don't want. Oh no.
Alrighty.
All right, it's 8:00. Ricky, you're on
the
the
pick
clock.
started.
I was waiting to hear.
Yeah, I
Ricky
had to
say,
hit the
"Oh,
button.
no!"
So there's your answer.
I almost actually messed up. I was searching a player, and I don't know how to add to a watch list. So
There's like the purple logo next to
The
the
purple
name.
little note thing.
that's
next
the
to it.
That's the
not
cue.
notes.
That's
All right.
no, it's adding to the queue. What do I want to do here? Oh, sorry, Rory's joining.
Oh, the real Rory.
Okay.
Holy moly. And the better O'Connor. I see
Rory!
her. He's there.
Now I'm going to turn off these notifications because this is going to suck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's really annoying.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
I like it.
I like the way the board fell in mock drafts after that, so that's why I went with it. So as we suspected, the first 4 picks were the first 4 players that we said on the last podcast.
Yep.
So like we said, the draft starts at 5 with Alex.
Yep.
Rory, were
I
you
clicked
Garner
it.
Minshew
Sorry.
before?
That might have been the real Garner Minshew.
That might have been the real Garner Minshew. Who knows? You're on mute, Rory.
What are you guys talking about? I have no idea.
You are a fantastic actor.
He fooled me. Completely.
Alex, Tim Tebow is still available if you're deciding.
Yeah, I was seeing how far down he is. Yeah.
Don't want to reach too far for him. Got it.
I would go next round for sure, though.
Oh, yeah, he can't slide out of round 2. There's
Your
no
finger's
way.
going to cramp. You're going to
Fall
just
back
scroll
me
so
in a
much.
second.
Who is?
I just love how much thought is going into this pick, as if we didn't already list these 4 players as the first 4 off the board, and then give him a week to decide.
This is Alex in a nutshell.
Yeah.
This is like the NFL draft.
Ooh,
Or you
the
have to
big
wait.
herb. Oh, okay.
Yeah, how do you turn off these notifications?
Wow, Justin Herbert. Oh my God, Berman didn't take Barkley.
Oh, that's Berman. Wondering who that was.
Well,
Oh my God.
turns out this fell exactly the way it did in every mock draft I did, which is odd because I thought something.
Is
would
anybody
change,
else's
but
draft
nothing
board
at
in the
all changed.
call not updating?
Yeah, it's frozen on Alex right now on the draft board.
Yeah, mine is. Frozen.
You may want to F5 because I had to manually start the draft, so you
No.
may have to manually refresh your board.
No, we're talking about yours, Pat, that you're sharing.
Oh, it's stuck on Alex. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I can fix
Yeah,
that.
there
we're
you go.
frozen. There
now,
we go.
Now we're good.
Sorry.
Ooh,
I was watching the podcast on that screen. because
Kamara.
This one has the thing all the way up.
So we can get all the notifications for picks.
Interesting.
If you press and hold your notifications, you can slide that to off, which might be a
Sure.
good idea for this draft. Someone who works for Verizon told me that.
Are you the person that works for Verizon that told you that?
Yes, and I told myself that.
I'm proud of you.
Good job.
That's what I'm here for, people. I'll be here all week. No, I won't. I'll be in Lake George. Never mind. Don't call me.
I'll call you.
Every day.
Well, nothing new there. Dalvin Cook falls.
Wow, you really
in his
couldn't let
hands.
Dalvin Cook fall one more pick to the Vikings fan, really? That's rude.
Could have sold him to you.
I mean, I would sell a lot for him. I would.
Make a trade.
Make a trade already.
I'll give you anything for him.
There's already been a trade, so that's the second one.
Next picks. Pick.
Trevor.
Oh,
Talking
wow. Went for T Law.
Let's make this draft
Early,
interesting.
but that's where he was ranked.
If he blows
Can
up.
I hit that
They
button?
weren't able to make it this
Yo.
time.
Hey, Mikey got Barkley. That's
By
not
the
a
way,
terrible
that was
auto
me
draft
clicking
pick.
let CPU auto pick. In case you can't see, it was not me making a pick for him.
Yeah, no, I like. That's not a terrible auto pick either at 11. So, hey, look, another Viking went off the board.
Well, I didn't enter one of the Vikings players.
I do, but apparently it doesn't want to fall that way.
If you want, you can get Trevor Lawrence's #1 target who got cut, Tim Tebow. That was aggressive.
Excuse me.
That was very aggressive. I like it.
God damn.
It's good beer. You should try it. Dark Camper.
By the way, I just realized Justin Jefferson was the wide receiver 1 in this draft.
Yep.
I was surprised Justin Jefferson was taken right there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
In every mock draft I did, he fell all the way back to me. I didn't pick him, but he fell all the way back to me.
Same thing with me. I thought I'd have a decision with Justin
Yeah,
Jefferson
I-
involved.
Well,
Well, he
I
wasn't
thought
gonna fall
Sargenti
'cause-
would have a decision. I didn't think
Yeah.
anyone else would have a decision. I thought just Sargenti would have
Well,
a decision to make.
the two players that I thought I was going to end up with was Chubb and Jefferson to choose between, and both those got picked by the two guys there. So, kind of threw a wrench in that. But I'll take Hill falling to me. That's okay.
Yeah. I'll take Derrick Henry. Okay.
It's a nice running back tandem you got there, Suts.
That was a
I'm
great
not
fall,
upset.
too.
Now I don't have to pick any more running backs until later.
This is where I fell into my problem in every single mock draft I did.
Gotta go.
Mhm.
Gotta go
This is where
Tebow.
my problem came in. The second pick was the only thing that threw everything off.
Yep.
Let Russ cook. Let him cook
I'm
the
going
bug.
to.
Taysom Hill.
Ugh. Am I gonna do it this way? I am gonna do it this way.
Nice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a nice pick.
Get that
Nice.
Beavers.
Yep.
The problem I experienced, now that I made the pick right, I don't mind saying, is right there. I took a second running back, which was Najee Harris, almost every single time, and I didn't get a wide receiver until the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh boy,
Hmm.
there's not a lot of good down there. I won't lie to you guys.
Yeah.
Berman's making his picks real quick, by the way.
I think Berman's logging in quickly to set a queue and then logging out to play his video game. And if the top
Surprise.
player on his queue is there, he's probably going to hit go. So it would make the most amount of sense. He hasn't made bad picks. I wouldn't say any of those picks were not where they belonged. So
Oh.
I won't knock it yet. We'll see how it goes a little bit later on when you're fishing for some stuff. But right now, it ain't bad.
I'll do that.
I knew that was coming.
Yep.
You had to know the Packers.
Yup.
Yeah, with
knew
him, with him sitting there in a Packers fan,
That
it's
was
going.
that had to be known.
Honestly,
I think
I
you
was
could have
gonna-
got him the other way around.
Oh,
I do like the pick. I
I
do
did
like
not-
the pick, but I thought you could have got him the other way around.
Nope.
Let's go double running backs, Mark.
I wanted to make sure I got him. That's my guy.
That's fair.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
know it was
guy.
your guy. I really thought he was going to be your 3rd round pick.
I was gonna say I thought he would fall 3rd round.
I'm very high on Antonio Gibson.
You always have
Yeah,
been.
we
Yep.
know.
Especially,
We have him in our league.
I have him in a couple
He
of my
went and got him
dynasties.
in our league.
Yeah.
Actually, a guy I work with asked me if I would take Jonathan Taylor or Antonio Gibson, and I honestly said Antonio Gibson.
A redraft league or a dynasty league?
Dynasty.
It's a
Washington's line, okay.
I like the upside more on Gibson PPR with catching.
Yeah, and especially now that he has an actual playing quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick, I know he's not like the epitome of an amazing
Calvin.
quarterback, but
Calvin Ridley.
he's the best quarterback that they've had in Washington in a long time.
Yeah, that's a
I can-
solid.
write that one
Early.
down.
Of course, the Falcons fan takes Calvin Ridley. Hey, Ricky, why don't you take Julio Jones for all time's sake?
Take Matt Ryan as your second QB.
The real
Yeah.
question that comes up here is going to be, does Merrill double up?
Oh my God,
on some
Ricky!
Packers?
That's
Great.
the first tight end off the board.
Look at his squad though right now. That's
with
nice.
with Kittle sitting there, you went and reached for okay.
With
three.
Kittle, with literally every tight end on the board sitting there, yeah.
He's just
Might not have made it back to 412 though.
No.
Upside, but I don't know. I hope I'm wrong for your sake, but it feels really early.
For Kyle Pitts.
Yes.
Oh, I agree
He held
with
up
you.
his mug. He's fine, bro.
Yeah, he's
He
he's
had the
happy.
mug. He had to go with the Dirty Bird
He
strat.
did say he had no plan going into this, so
Yeah, the Dirty Bird strat
Yeah.
hasn't worked till
I didn't know
like
picking
99,
every
but, like,
player
that's
in
okay.
Atlanta was the plan, though. Apparently, the flow
Full
is just
strategy
Atlanta.
Good pick, Matt. That was between him and who I'm picking, so that made it easier for me to just go ahead and grab CD.
CD. I'm scared of CD for the same reason I'm scared of every Rams wide
Really?
receiver. There it is. It called it.
Double green.
Well,
Called it.
You're
I
gonna
need
get
to grab a
Rogers
running
too?
back.
I get shit.
Too easy.
I need to grab a running back. So you know what? Jones was available. Let me grab him. I don't care.
I don't blame you. I would have went with Dobbins, but I don't blame you. Or CEH.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna grab Dobbins here.
that's a nice combo though. Zeke and Dobbins.
Yeah.
I knew he wouldn't, but I was hoping Dobbs fell to me in the 3rd, but I didn't expect him to.
Yeah, no.
That would have been a little much.
I like
That's why I didn't expect. I was praying, but didn't.
Alex knows this, but I wasn't a huge Zeke fan going into the season. But after watching a couple episodes of Hard Knocks, he looks a lot better.
I'm all in on Zeke this year.
If he stays healthy, he's gonna have a good year.
If that
He hasn't
offensive
really
line
had
stays
any
healthy, they'll have a good
injury
year.
issues.
Yeah.
Well, the defense get off the field quicker, then they won't have to rely on running the ball as much as last time.
It's true.
Or they'd be able to run the ball more because when your defense is constantly allowing 50 points a game, you're throwing the ball constantly.
Jamar Chase off the board.
Before D.
Oh, wow.
He like
That
dropped
actually
these.
threw up my whole thing. Not that I was going to pick Chase, but that I didn't think that DeAndre Hopkins
interesting.
was still going to be sitting here.
So if you look at Berman's team, he has a nice floor with Lamar Jackson because of the running game, and then he went back-to-back rookies on his next 2 picks. So I see what he's doing. I wouldn't have personally taken Chase there. I would have taken DeAndre Hopkins as my wide receiver 1, but I understand going for the youth.
Oh, boy.
Decision time, Pat.
It is. And I don't like the decision.
You have a couple of interesting players staring you right in the face.
I feel like I know where.
Uh-huh.
You could go ahead and
And I'm
grab.
going to go reach for one.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
reaching. Okay, here goes Matthew
I
Stafford.
think. Okay, I'm not going to reach that far. Why don't you chill a minute?
Well, no, they just traded for his reach, Sony Michelle.
Yeah, there it
I'm
is.
going to do that.
Yeah.
That's not a reach.
Wow,
I
you.
like
Whoa.
Darren Waller.
You are. I do not like you, Patrick.
Pat,
Wow.
I do. It was a good pick. Darren
I knew he
Waller
was
was
going to grab a tight
amazing.
end. I didn't expect that.
I was between DeAndre Hopkins, who I didn't think would be. I thought it was going to be a very simple pick a tight end moment, and then DeAndre Hopkins was still sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
But with him getting just a little bit older, that offense getting a little bit better with everyone in it, I think I'll stick with the unquestioned target horde.
Yeah,
of-
I wasn't expecting you to take
Car.
Waller. That was my next pick.
You all literally took my third. It went Pitts, Ridley, Gibson, and DeAndre Hopkins. The only one left, and then Pat was
In
about.
all fairness,
Of course he will.
I don't think either of the other two were going to get back to you.
No.
Because I was between Waller and Pitts when I figured I would be taking a tight end right there because I've taken a tight end there in every mock draft.
Yeah.
And then Pitts went really, really, really early. And then Jamar Chase went, leaving DeAndre Hopkins there. And
Right. So sometimes he
Real
felt
fiddle.
it, so it's worth a chance.
oh, no, draft. Actually, I'm going to let this one run its course of a minute and 10 more seconds because I think it'll put him on auto pick automatically
Right, and then we could talk
We're gonna
about
find out.
And then if like,
instead of me.
so how's everyone feeling so far with their first 3 picks? You guys
Can
feeling
we make some
good?
Tigers
Is
players
Rory
now?
on mute still?
What's up?
Because I need to know.
Yes.
Rory,
Yeah.
you that high on DeAndre Swift over
I
the
am.
others that are on the board?
This is a partnership over here.
That was my
Okay.
I was
So,
So Megan
Makes me more
decided she's
angry
really high on
on her
DeAndre
phone.
Swift.
It's a lot easier to put people on the watch list on your phone. So
Yeah.
she's doing that, and she just wanted to pick a player. So there we go.
I wanted to pick
I'm
him.
teasing. He's going to be healthy for week 1. He's going to be fine, and
He's
he
gonna be
is
fine.
going to be the whole Lions offense.
I don't know. TJ Hawkinson might have something to say about
I
that.
can live with that.
TJ
I don't think he
Hawkinson
will
has
with
been
Jared
having
Goff
something
under
to say
center.
about that for the past 3 seasons. So like, when he-
Is someone
Yeah,
picking
every
from
time we say
McLaren?
TJ Hawkinson's going to be something, he does nothing.
Well, they're letting him run through, so that'll go to auto pick after this round, and it'll just
Oh,
automatically
okay.
pick through.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it will put him on CPU auto pick instead of me constantly picking CPU auto pick.
Gotcha.
Anywho, how do I put someone on my queue?
You hit the little purple plus thing. With
He's
like
on
a
auto.
notepad.
Yep, it says auto over
Yeah,
his name
so-
now, so we're good.
That should
Ooh.
speed us up. Oh, Sean.
Wow.
Josh Jacobs everywhere. When
Yes.
you stick with him, you got to stick with him, right?
And then the gas man?
And Gaskin. Well, he is a Miami Dolphins fan, so
Is
here
he?
we go with
Okay.
a homegrown player getting picked a little
Okay.
early, but homegrown players tend to go a little early. That's why it's always funny drafting with 10 Jets fans because there's no one to pick on the Jets, so they're never going to go.
That's rude.
Honestly, not bad. First 4 from
I'm
Mike.
sorry.
Yeah, for
Okay.
auto draft, that's pretty
Well,
good.
the thing you got to look at, and this is one of the reasons I did this, is we switched it from Keeper League to Dynasty in the draft with the hopes that it would sort it close enough. The only question is going to be down the line when the people who don't get picked start moving up to the top of the list
Yeah.
because they're going to start going in situations where they may not have. But maybe for Mike, that might be a blessing in disguise.
So I'm just going to cut in real quick. The fact that Sargenti waited till round 4 to get a running back and still was able to snag Austin Eckler is just unbelievable.
Yeah, there's no way he should have fell there.
So if you look
That's
at,
actually where I
if
was
you look
getting
at
to
the
my
draft
mocks.
board,
Rated. That's actually where I got him in 3 different mocks.
That's where I have him at the top of
Continue to
round
fall.
4.
Ricky, did you
I
just say
believe
overrated?
that's where he would. I think that's where he should go, the top of round 4.
It's just the other running backs that went ahead of him. Like, I would have drafted Austin Eckler ahead of Jacobs and Gaskin, personally.
Nice pick.
All right,
Scary.
you guys ready
That's not
for a
bad.
reach?
I like Terry
No, it's
McLaurin.
not
Well,
bad.
Rory, I have choice words for you, and this is off.
You go on.
No, we'll talk later.
When it's more...
I'll find you. I'll find you. later.
I'm gonna end up trading my whole team before the draft is over.
That's fair.
Treats.
Moving everyone, guys.
I like
Get them
Terry.
while you can.
I like Terry McLaurin this year. Like I said before, with Ryan Fitzpatrick being quarterback, that's a huge upgrade for him.
It's gonna be very boomer bust though. I feel like with
I don't-
Fitzpatrick way.
I don't know. I think because of all the teams Ryan Fitzpatrick played for, how many of them actually had a running game?
Not really, no.
Yeah, so Fitzpatrick's now not going to have to chuck the ball 40 times a game. He might be more not game
Now
managery,
that
but
is a reach.
I told you it'd be a reach.
damn.
It's so much more fun to
I
see
wasn't
Fitzpatrick.
going to come
That
back
is
for
a
you.
reach.
I have to go get him now.
Oh,
I don't think you did. I don't think you had to go anywhere near getting him right now.
That was
He did
aggressive,
this
and I
one
like
day.
it. Suts, that was aggressive, and I like it. Be aggressive.
That's my number 1 quarterback. That's what I wanted. I got him. I'm happy.
Number 1
Oh,
on the
boy.
big board.
Am I gonna do this?
Yeah, you're going to do it.
He's
I'm
going
gonna do
to.
this.
I know what you're going to do.
I
Don't
hope
you
Berman
dare.
watches this later on.
Oh no.
Sorry.
There it is.
Ooh.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is. Yeah, to be fair, if you didn't draft him, I was taking him. I was taking him if he came back to me. Just throwing
He
it
was.
That
out.
was
I didn't
actually
think
my
he made it
decision.
out
I
of
was
the
I was
fourth round.
debating taking
But-
Austin Eckler or taking Justin Fields, but then I looked at the running backs after that, and I was like, I need a running back.
The biggest problem is that's my
yeah, you
QB1.
did.
So
That is.
now you're gonna.
He's not even starting.
He wasn't
Exactly.
making it to you, Tim.
Oh,
I didn't. Yeah. I don't think he was going anywhere close to getting back to anyone. I think he was going right here, to be honest with you.
to Berman.
And hopefully I'll get Berman's input on something later on. But the fact that it's finally taken him more than 10 seconds to make a pick makes me think that it wasn't falling any further than right there.
I know he's definitely for Fields for the future for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
CEH finally goes. I think that's a great fall.
That is.
I was going for him. Hmm.
This lines up where I think certain other people are going to go also, which is going to make my next pick very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know who I want to take coming up, but I know I want to take other people too. It's just
Oh, who do I want to get? And there he goes.
so it sucks about Travis Etienne.
Yeah, Liz Frank.
I don't think he was going to be all that much in year one anyway. I don't.
Oh,
really
I didn't
think
No,
think
but
this
that's still a tough injury for a rookie.
I didn't think
I
so.
don't.
Year
It is
one
a tough
either.
injury for a rookie.
Merrill.
That is fair. I just don't think this
This pick's for
overly
Merrill.
affects where you draft him.
I know what you're doing.
This pick's for
Are you
Merrill.
really?
Hey, Rod. There he is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Could have got the quarterback, but I needed it. I thought Sanders would be a good pick.
I think Sanders is a good pick, especially since you already have Kyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm more surprised
I
at
think you're
Mixon
fine with
going
that.
almost into the fourth round.
Yeah, Mixon almost dropped to the fifth. I was really it was between Rodgers and Mixon for me there, even though that would have been my third running back because just the value of Joe Mixon in that late in the fourth round is insane.
I'm shocked
right
you
now.
didn't take Mixon, seeing that they already have a quarterback each.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, I
and
didn't know if
two rookie cornerbacks sitting there, and then Aaron Rodgers.
no, I
So,
know.
I mean, if you're looking at two people already drafted in their second, that's where your rookie quarterbacks really get a lot more value because you don't have to start them.
Right, but then you also have the wild card known as Ricky Callen picking with back-to-back picks, so there's a possibility I
Going
could
with
see
the
him.
flow. Going with the flow.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's not on the Falcons, so you're safe.
Ooh, David Montgomery.
The Bears are like the Falcons, so it's fine.
Ricky's giving this pick a lot of thought.
That's because he doesn't pick again for 24 more picks. You
I
go
get-
fishing a little bit when you have to see who you have in between now and your next pick.
You right.
And he didn't fish very far.
I don't mind the pick.
Nope. There's your second Dallas wide receiver off the board.
And rightfully so. I like the Cowboys' offense if they can all stay healthy.
There's a lot to like there. The only question is going to be if their defense stands up better, do they start running the ball a little bit more?
Yes,
Right.
please.
Okay. Oh, decision time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still shocked. I won't lie to you.
What?
Did you get my text message?
Hold on. Yes. Yeah. Who's my echo coming from? Hello?
It's coming off Merrill.
Did Meryl mute yourself real quick? Check. Yeah, it's Meryl.
Yeah, we could see the little thing appear on the top of his thing every time he talked.
It wasn't appearing for me.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Mark Andrews.
Want me to unmute then?
You could just mute yourself in between talking and not talking.
Yeah.
Or get headphones, which will stop your echo. Unless you put your headphones next to your microphone next to your second computer, in which case it just creates a very loud buzzing sound.
Zzz.
Sorry, Tim.
I'm sorry, what? What'd I do?
That you going deaf from the other day? No, when I put the microphone next to my headphones next to my computer laptop while I turned on everything. That was fun, wasn't it? Did you enjoy not hearing anything for 4 hours?
Yeah, I don't even know if we recorded anything.
Oh, boy.
So, aside from, like, Myles Gaskin, I haven't really seen anything that I consider a super... Well, Matthew Stafford would I consider a super reach so far.
I will still say this, and it's what I say every time. If you're picking at the end position, you have to plan 24 picks in advance.
So, Merrill still got an echo, by the way.
It's because he's not muted.
Bill?
Yeah.
Even with the headphones on.
Mm-hmm.
I would just leave and rejoin the meet, and it'll probably fix itself.
No, I would just mute yourself until you're talking.
That too.
The little button on your headphone should do that.
So, Patty, you gonna do what you texted me about?
I'm not because I just took Fields. I can't have two quarterbacks who aren't going to start. And that, I'm shocked he's still on the board with the preseason he's had. I'm shocked that Trey Lance is still on the board, and everyone in front of this has a quarterback, so he's your second quarterback. I'm honestly shocked that he's still sitting there.
I didn't want to draft back-to-back QBs.
Patrick Smith, shut your face. Poor
You know, it's funny because I wasn't gonna get him, but now I'm kind of thinking about it. If you don't,
it's actually gonna be Tim's fault because I texted that in secrecy, and then he wanted to talk about it.
Come on. He wasn't gonna make it.
Full
that
disclosure:
far.
if he falls to me, he's gone. So just throwing that out there.
He wouldn't be falling to you; it would be right here. But I think with Stafford, I don't really know if that's the best option either. But hey, who cares? It sucks. Who's probably also just going with the flow at this point after reaching 7 rounds ahead from Matthew
it's
Stafford.
not reach 7 rounds ahead.
You're right, 8.
At least 5. 5's got to be the minimum on a Matthew Stafford.
So does that mean do I make up for it if I pick Trey Lance because I get great value? Is that how it works?
I don't think so because he's not starting either. That's
Not a
just
starter. You don't want him. Yeah.
Quick question about the auto draft. Are we cool
Yes.
with it giving either ETN or Akers to Mike?
So the unfortunate part of this is that we have to be.
Okay.
This is a
both.
dynasty league. This is a $5 dynasty league. The first year is higher because we're buying a trophy, but it's only a $5 dynasty league. So, ETN and Akers probably have long distance value. I'm gonna hope that both of them do. So
Yeah.
You guys
we
are
can go
just
4 IR
animals for
spots.
not voting for him allowing him to make a list because they're animals.
Yeah, I thought that was the best option, but
I voted for that with you. Don't worry.
I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I wasn't running my laptop. Are you guys still getting feedback or no?
No
No.
feedback right now.
Nope.
All right, that's good.
All right, I
We'll
did
try
it.
that for now.
Just
I mean, I
people
hear you
off.
guys.
And there goes Trey
Well,
Lance.
You waited the
Otherwise,
whole
I
clock
can.
just to do that.
I was.
So if I was
listen,
you,
I was
I'd have
kind of
flipped
torn
that.
there. I wasn't gonna pick him originally. So that. so
I would have taken Hurts instead of Lance if I was you.
why?
Because
starts.
Matthew Stafford's not gonna...
He's gonna get hurt at some point.
It's Matthew Stafford.
That's fine.
Ooh,
And I
Ayuk
makes
in.
another appearance on a Rory team.
I'll get Fitzpatrick at around 15.
Brandon
You're
Ayuk.
dreaming.
Sorry.
In this league, you're dreaming.
I like the pick, O'Connors. I like the pick. So are you guys like trading off who's picking in what round?
We usually see pretty eye to eye on most of our picks.
I just need the stamp of approval.
Okay. Does she need your stamp of approval if she wants to make a pick?
Not at all.
No.
Welcome to marriage.
That's not how that works.
Matt, why don't you let Jen make the next pick for you then?
I was telling
Jen was
Smite-
standing here. I made her go away.
I was telling Smite that I found out it was a super league probably about 90 minutes before the draft. I was like looking at the roster construction, and I was like, son of a gun, none of my mocks have been super flex rather. And so I went to Megan during dinner. I was like, we got to talk about this. How are we gonna do our quarterback? Oh wow, T. Higgins, nice.
That
And
auto drafted
so-
T. Higgins. Wow, that was a
I had
that's
to-
a
I
Yeah,
think
let
your
me just
price
say
ring.
that was out of what it should have done. So maybe it's because he doesn't have any wide receivers, but
Mhm.
Michael
kinda hoping
Thomas was
that-
wide receiver 1 on the board and went to T. Higgins.
Well, let's call it what it
That
is.
it- yeah.
This app is a lot smarter than ESPN and Yahoo combined.
Facts.
Kind of agree. Yeah.
which I'm a fan of. I won't lie to you.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. Continue with the ice cream story.
Well, no, I was just told that I'm not allowed to talk any football with her until she got ice cream. So naturally, we went to go get ice cream, and then we were allowed to talk football. So
What flavor?
I didn't get any.
Coffee crunch.
There you go.
Ooh, coffee, nice.
Okay.
Coffee Crunch. That sounds
Whoa.
intriguing.
Got to stay up through the whole draft.
Yeah,
See, that was gonna be my other pick.
I wanted Carson. Yeah,
You dig?
So, Drew, I got a question for you. Why Tannehill over Jalen Hurts?
I just don't have faith in Philly.
Who are you on?
Okay.
Well, we were thinking we have time.
I like
That's
the
honestly
mobility
fair.
of Hurts.
And,
I like.
I do, but I didn't also want to go rookie, so I know Tannehill kind of gives me a solid
I like him
four.
too.
Tannehill's pretty consistent in Tennessee. He's been playing well. They can get some solid consistency out of him if Lawrence stumbles out of the gate.
Right. I think there's a decent floor for Jalen Hurts for Mike's team because he has a lot of that mobility that gives you a nice balance for your team. And he didn't. What was it? 4 games he started last year for
I'll
Philly.
also say that Hurts is his super flex player that can sit need be if he gets another quarterback with Russell Wilson starting. So Hurts is a second QB.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy! All right, we're even.
Nice. Well, I like Devonta
Touche.
Smith.
Touche.
He's in a good spot for him. He's nobody to compete with targets.
He would have been in a much better spot about 2 picks over. But here we are.
Fuck you guys.
I forgot what it's like to have a full draft. I'm so used to having like 5 rounds. This is like new to me.
It's refreshing to do this again.
It is. I think the last time I did a full draft was baseball. Actually, when we drafted the entire league, that was different. Yes, Ricky.
Oh my God! You don't have to raise your hand.
When is our other league's draft? Because I honestly forgot.
The 5th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love how the school teacher raised his hand. That was awesome.
Well, to be fair,
Very
Alex is
professional.
also a school teacher. He is raising his hand. Yes, Alex.
Oh, I was just raising my hand. No question.
Oh, Ricky, I have to tell you
Just
later
testing.
the crap that they're pulling on Alex right now at his school. It's not something to talk about on the podcast, but you would go nuts about it if it happened to you. I'll actually text it to
I
you
would-
right now.
Yeah, I'll
Yes,
definitely.
maybe not while recording.
Yeah, no, I understand completely. You like your job.
Uh,
Michael Thomas.
All
is
right.
on.
Well, you made my choice easier,
That was not.
and I cannot, for the life of me, believe I'm going to do this twice.
Uh-oh.
Melvin Gordon.
I cannot believe I am going to do this in 2 leagues.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. You.
That's actually who I was gonna pick over Tannehill. The reason it took me so long, I was actually gonna take Zach Wilson or Tannehill.
That's who I was gonna pick.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
That's who I
you
was
You
gonna
are
pick.
like,
That was the one pick I said we must get Zach.
and I was like,
This
no,
round. And then the better
no.
half. Yeah.
And you, no.
Well, if you had picked Zach, I was picking Devonta Smith.
All
So
right,
here
touche.
we are.
Make the trade.
Do we start 3 wide receivers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
3 wide receivers and a flex. A regular flex.
Right.
and it is full PPR league. For those who didn't read the initial post from 6 months ago. Not that there's anyone here that hasn't done that until about an hour ago. Sorry, Rory.
Is it bad that he was the only one I thought of when you said that?
Well, that's because he just said he didn't do it earlier.
Man, taking Zach Wilson really screwed me here.
Yep.
Didn't expect that.
Okay, he can't screw all of you because he wouldn't have gone to all of you.
I hate all. I hate you now, Alex.
Man, we're just ripping Tim's players off the boards here.
You're like,
except for that one.
You're
that wasn't gonna happen.
No, I was not gonna take both of them.
You know who's there? Tua's there.
No. That's a hard pass for me on Tua.
Don't worry, when he comes back to Berman, he's going off the board.
You know.
Oh wait, now he's trying to trade Tua to everyone.
I know.
Okay. I'll take Cooper Kupp as my wide receiver 3.
I like it and hate it at the same time.
You hate it because he didn't come back to you, or you like it? You hate it because it's Matthew
No,
Stafford?
I hate it because I think Stafford runs a different type of offense than Cooper Kupp's going to fit into. I think he's going to be the odd man out, which sucks because he's in my league and he's like my wide receiver 2.
Counterpoint. And he's going to be Golden Tate.
I still think Robert Woods is Golden Tate. And then you throw in Van Jefferson and you throw in Tutu once he's back to being healthy, and you throw in Deshaun Jackson, and there's too many, man.
I still like Cooper Kupp for the PPR floor.
He's your wide receiver 3. I wouldn't even. That's all I had to say was he's my wide receiver 3, and that's where he probably belongs this year, which is rough to say for a Rams fan.
Touchdown upside is great.
Yeah. Because they should, like, aside from the fact that their running back situation is super murky, they should have a better offense.
Which should make the wide receivers much better.
Yep. Yeah. They should have a better offense passing the ball wise, because Stafford is an upgrade over Jared Goff. There's no denying that.
I agree.
So,
as long as Stafford stays healthy, then yes.
Stafford's the kind of player that doesn't need to stay healthy, and that's the scary part about Stafford, and one of the main reasons that a lot of people, maybe not fantasy-wise, but just in general, like Matthew Stafford, was he'll play through anything. One of the most watched clips in the NFL is him getting his shoulder dislocated, and I think it was the Browns call a timeout. Otherwise, Matthew Stafford would have missed the play, comes back in, throws the game-winning touchdown.
And it pops back out on that throw.
Yeah. I mean, and he'll play through it. He's going to go. Matthew Stafford's going to be on the field.
Yeah.
And to break his leg to keep him off the field.
Constant back issues, too, is a problem.
Yeah, he don't care, though.
That's because he's constantly had to put the whole entire Detroit Lions team on his back.
Yes, agreed.
So that will happen.
He's also spent a lot of time on his back because of the Detroit Lions. So.
I was looking at Baker.
Good QB2.
Ricky loves him some Baker Mayfield.
Oh.
He's got a signed mini helmet by him.
Good QB2.
That he's been trying to sell to me for some reason. Oh, Julio!
And there he is.
There it goes.
He could only make it so far, right? Come on.
Yep. Oh,
there it is.
There went
Deshaun. We've wondered how far he would fall, and it's round 7, pick 2.
I'm honestly not surprised that my brother's the one that took him.
Hey, you know what? If he plays, I know he's going to be suspended, but if he plays, he's still very, very good.
Deshaun Watson as the 17th quarterback off the board is great value.
And like you said, I have to wait 22 picks to pick again.
Yes. No, he's a fringe QB1 when he's on the field. And I say fringe not because of Deshaun Watson's skill set, but because of the team he plays on.
Yeah.
So don't all jump at the same time because Deshaun Watson's got great skill, but there's no one else on that team. So fringe QB1 with the talent he has. Imagine if he went to a good team.
Hey, listen, they signed Philip Lindsay.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yeah, they signed 6 running backs because they thought the worst thing on their team was the running back.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. By the way, Ricky, did you raise your hand?
What year is this?
What's up, Ricky?
I just want to say, Matt, I think you should get Tyrod Taylor as your Tyrod. He's a solid player as your backup, third backup.
I'll think about it.
Well, this was actually one of the things that we discussed on the previous show was drafting a player like Deshaun Watson and picking the player who's probably going to start super late on. That way you're guaranteed to have a second QB no matter which way the dice end up going.
The tough part with Deshaun Watson is you don't know what team he's going to be starting for when he does play.
You also don't know who his backup's going to be. Tyrod Taylor, awesome until someone stabs him in the throat again, and then the next quarterback takes up. I mean, that's just.
And we talked about on
that's Tyrod Taylor's luck right there. It's just that he finally gets an opportunity with a decent team, an okay head coach. Everything's okay, and then bam. Dunzo.
And
so I mean,
we talked about on episode 1 too. Davis Mills is not a he's not a terrible quarterback. He was very highly recruited coming out of high school. He just got hurt in college. If it weren't for him getting hurt, he probably would have been a first round pick this year with the trajectory he was on. So Davis Mills I like as like a sleeper just in case something happens to Tyrod and Deshaun doesn't come back.
Well, I spent my time talking about him. Now I'm going to spend my time drafting him.
There goes Robert Woods.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was tempting to
and
pair
that's
with
one
Cooper
of the other
Kupp.
reasons I like Woods over Kupp is because of the value you can get a couple picks later on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, again, in your spot, I think you would have gotten Woods on the other side, but
I'm happy that I got Chase Claypool on the other side because it was between Kupp and Claypool for me when I picked. So I picked the higher floor with Kupp with the PPR, and then I went for the more boom or bust but a higher boom trajectory, which was Claypool with the next pick. So Claypool at my flex, I'm perfectly fine with.
Now, this is going to be the weird part of the draft no matter what. And the only reason I say it is we're getting into the 70s and we're getting into the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And Cam Akers is still sitting there. Now, Etienne's a rookie, and that's whatever. But with Cam Akers still sitting here, knowing he's going to be out a full year, and then in case no one knows, Rory, roster restrictions for the first year are you keep one full lineup and drop everyone else. So they have to fit into your starting lineup to be kept. Just for the first year. We will adjust them after that. But it's very interesting what happens with Akers, knowing that he's not going to play at all the first year, and then he would have to fit into your lineup at the end of the year to keep him.
Yo, so it's like 3 years ago, you'd have the best starting wide receivers I've ever seen.
All right. Does anyone remember when I discussed the fact that he would pick a really good old team?
I picked Trey Lance. Shut up.
Yeah, but with Matthew Stafford, Derrick Henry, Adam Thielen.
You picked a really good.
Everybody picked all the rookies that I wanted ahead of me, right?
There's still more draft picks left.
I know
just pointing out that this is currently fitting very, very closely into picking a very good, slightly older team.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're very wise in your old age, Pat. You know.
I mean, I'd already be retired if this was me. So. Why is the NFL done? Now, I thoroughly hope that Sean understands that we have to start 2 quarterbacks because we're coming down to the number.
Ronald Jones?
We don't have to start 2 quarterbacks. It's recommended that you do so, but you don't have to.
Recommended, and he has Joe Burrow coming off a knee injury that still plays for the exact same off. And there's the other Miami player. Trey Sermon goes.
So he's got 2 tight ends.
I'm sorry. Can we just be honest here and say that Sleeper is a better drafter than Mike McCarron?
I'm so mad. I was like, yo, it's gonna auto Trey Sermon. It's going to do it.
Yo, Mike's team's not bad.
I think we have to find.
That was my damn Q person.
I think we have to give in that Sleeper is a better drafter than Mike McCarron.
Like, this is ridiculous.
I almost want to see what his list would have been to see what difference there would have been in all of his picks.
No, what's going to be the funny thing is he's asking me for updates. I'm going to send him a picture of this lineup. He's probably going to ask me who T. Sermon is.
He's probably going to ask you who half these players are.
You guys ready for this reach?
Yep.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I
Is
care about
anything
you.
a reach? Nah.
Oh.
As Jets fans, that's not a reach.
that the first Jets receiver on?
The only thing is that we're Jets fans. We're cursed. Every player we hype up gets hurt. So see ya.
Yeah. So
the
thanks for
amount
drafting Zach
of
Wilson,
time that he would have had to sit there to come back to you,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually okay.
That's
If
what I was
in your
kind of
mind
looking at. I was like, I
he
don't
is-
think
If in your mind he's the best wide receiver at this moment, and you wanted your wide receiver 3, then I don't think that's as much of a reach as his number is going to make it look like. And again, that's one of the things. This is a dynasty rookie.
Just because
Like,
Irv Smith is with him.
It's not as over of a reach as it would seem.
I'm gonna make a call your shot here on Berman's next pick because of something I see posted on Facebook a lot with him and Pat. I think Berman's gonna take Carson Wentz.
I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Just so in case
If he doesn't fall.
If he doesn't fall. That's
And
absolutely-
everyone in front of him has 2 quarterbacks. So it would surprise me if he didn't fall. And now we're just reaching for Jets.
Jesus.
That's all we're doing now.
Yeah.
So does anyone else have any Jets that they would like to draft?
I wanted
So,
Zach
you're a
Wilson.
Jets fan.
Is Vinny
You want me to put
Testaverde still
you-
playing?
Do you want me to just put your name in this and you could just draft yourself?
Yes.
Yo, I'd make a
Because-
great receiver, man.
I'd make a
I'm
solid
really
water
high on
boy.
Michael Carter, and he's not going to come back around to me. You're the one who said it yourself. So
I don't think he would come back to you. I'm just making a joke that there was 2 Jets in a row. It wasn't your pick that got it. It was the fact that 2 Jets.
well, they
got
were both
drafted
in
a
my
row.
queue. So here we are. As was Trey Sermon.
Nope. We're there then.
Roy, I love the head movement.
We've made it there.
All right, Pat, are you ready for this? I think this pick is going to be for you.
I'm not, because if you take my pick off the board, I'm going to be very mad at
Is
you.
it Van
I
Jefferson?
hope you become very mad at me because I'm taking Chanel.
That is not my pick. I do like that pick, and I'm going to now pick the person who I never thought would fall back to me in this draft.
Uh-oh.
Who's that?
And it's going to make my pick
I
very easy.
knew it.
Yeah.
Because
I
I have
was going
Prehunt
for
in
him.
every league.
I didn't even put him
and
on
the
my
fact
queue.
that he fell down to me in the 8th round. When I thought I had to go get him in the 7th. I was between him and Woods in the 7th, and I did not think we were getting back
Oh my
around
God,
to
he didn't
Kareem
take
Hunt.
Carson Wentz. He took OBJ.
Well, that's the same. It's Berman, so I mean, it's a 6 and 1/2 dozen the other.
You right.
Leave Wentz there one more round, which I'm sure we will.
Got a
And-
Giants connection. That's why he took him.
Oh yeah, no, he's been a big OBJ fan.
He got Galladay around before it. So
Kirk Cousins.
Oh my god.
Holy moly!
Well,
Did you have to type his
probably
name
not.
in to find him?
No, he was coming up. It was like right behind Matt Ryan.
yeah, he deserves to be further down that list.
Right behind Matt Ryan.
Throws for 4,000 yards
On
every
the
year.
QB list.
It was like QB 12 last year.
He's not wrong.
I know, but it's fun to make fun of him for Kirk Cousins. Plus, Sargenti's sitting over there just listening to all of it, and it's just fun for me that way also. It serves 2 purposes.
No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
I know exactly what Kirk Cousins is.
Do I want to do it? Do I want to do it?
He's gonna do it.
Do I want to do it?
There's no way you can
Do it.
Should I do it?
Do whatever you
won't.
want.
I shouldn't do it.
You won't.
Gotta be Sammy?
No.
Sammy boy?
Nope.
Ooh.
I don't mind that. And
I don't
there it
hate-
is. As
I don't
your
hate that
running
pick,
back
Tim.
2,
Ouch.
I think
I have a thing to say to you that I hope I will say to you after the next pick, which I will not say right now because there's double picks right behind you, and I won't make the same mistake I made before Rory picked. Because apparently the whiskey actually makes me stop saying things I shouldn't.
oh, you should have been drinking
What
more
kind of
often.
whiskey is this? It'll turn around quickly, but right now it's holding me back.
Ooh.
Let's see. Ricky's also sitting on only one running back on his roster.
Yeah.
So this is a
He's gotta make it.
interesting spot for him.
No, Timothy. I was going for Edmonds, but clearly that didn't happen. So yes.
I'd like to not apologize. Atlanta
I can
boy
say it
through
now.
and through.
Oh.
I think I was gonna say I think your next pick should be Mike Davis, because if you're gonna pick a running back who's not playing this year as your
Yeah.
RB2, You need to get an RB2 that's going to be solid for 1 year, which I think is the Mike Davis specialty.
Ooh.
I also found it funny that Mostert was left on the board and Sermon was picked by Sleeper, since Mostert is still technically the starter.
I think the emphasis on Dynasty influenced that pick.
I think so also. It just – and he was – a lot of talk was that Sermon would drop because Mostert was still the starter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
But
if
you can't
Sermon
say
gets
healthy.
picked right there, but, I mean, everyone had their eyes on him at that point, so
I like the
probably
Debo.
doesn't.
I like the Debo.
Oh,
pick. I
damn
like
it.
Debo.
I don't think he was getting back to me anyway, but that was –
Well, I'm gonna
He
make
was my next pick.
I'm gonna make Berman's
was
life
there.
easier.
Ugh. Oh, wait, I don't know if I said that loud. Ugh.
Oh.
Did I say that?
We went over this
clearly
last
enough?
episode. If Carson Wentz comes back to anywhere close to what he was when he was an MVP, pretty much, I'm all for it. And as the Superflex position, I have options that I can move in instead of him. So I don't like that I'd made that pick, but I felt the need to. Michael Pittman.
No.
Interesting, Michael.
I don't know. I'm really trying to figure this out. It's just, again, a full draft just throws me off. So having to research who to draft like this just kind of tough. I'm missing names I want to grab, and that's bothering me.
You're in bench mode right now, and in bench mode, Michael Pittman is a very solid, very young
upside. Oh,
That's
Alex,
a reach for me.
It's
a reach for me.
you.
Reach for me. Still is. We were talking about that earlier. I'm surprised. I thought stats you were taking instead of Wentz. I did.
I thought about it.
I thought when you said I'll make his decision easier for him, it's because you were going to take Harris and leave Wentz there.
No.
So I didn't want to say anything there either because I knew that I don't think it was going to make it around, but I didn't want to say anything up front.
Yeah, no, I
don't think Damian Harris's value changes based off of losing Sony Michel.
I do. I think
he's still the exact same running back he was when Sony Michel was on the team.
I think he gets more work. Like, I think they were going to be forced to sprinkle more Sony Michel, and especially like in the red zone. But I think now the red zone job is firmly Damian Harris's, and the fact that they might be starting Mac Jones sooner than later means they're not going to have Cam Newton rushing for touchdowns in the red zone, which means the ball should go to Damian Harris. It's not going to go. I don't think Belichick's going to trust Ramondre Stevenson on the goal line.
Damian Harris was their goal line back last year.
No, Rex Burkhead was before he got hurt.
Okay, he died in like the 4th week.
Right, but also the goal line running back for New England.
Then he again later on.
The goal line running back for the Patriots last year was Cam Newton.
Yes.
That's 100% who it was. It wasn't. Wow. I thought about saying, no, this is smart.
Can y'all stop making my decisions this hard by making these picks ahead of me?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say something that I haven't said very often. That's a smart move by Berman. Because
I think it is also.
He took James Robinson.
But
earlier.
I have a quick question. Rory?
Uh-oh.
Do you pick next or does Megan pick next? Because if you pick next, I might be sorry.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's Alex's Alex loves him some Tyler Boyd.
I think Rory might be picking next because I think he's crying now.
Love me some Tyler Boyd.
Megan actually put
that
it.
was my pick.
Yeah, Megan put it on the list.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a good pick there.
I knew he wasn't getting back to me because there was 2 picks. So whether it was Megan or Rory's, I didn't think it was getting back to me because then the other one would pick next. But I just didn't know if I was going to pick it directly in front of Rory or if there was going to be a whole other thing going on before that.
I want that.
Suts, I recommend Sam Darnold.
That's what I was kind of looking at.
Ew.
I think I'm going to go back to my old man ways. Yeah.
Wow.
The man in Denver picks the running back in Denver.
Gotta get
Nothing
somebody
wrong, but that's what we picked.
I can't pick the kicker like I usually do. So.
And here we go again, where you look at the presumptive starter, Melvin, being picked 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds after the rookie that's coming in.
Melvin's on the last year of his contract. He's gone after this year.
I'm the one who picked the rookie, so I'm not saying that the rookie's not supposed to go ahead of him. It's just you can see the difference in dynamic when you do a draft like this, from incumbent starter, last year contract, maybe hasn't performed at the top of his game for 2 or 3 years, and how that changes who you look at to draft. Because if you knew Melvin Gordon was going to be a starter and you drafted his replacement 5 rounds ahead of him, you better be pretty sure.
I've heard nothing but good things about Javonte coming out of camp, though, this year.
Oh, he's
And
money.
that is why I picked him. That is why I went a little bit ahead of where I wanted to and grabbed him.
Goddard. The only thing that worries me about Goddard is the fact that they still have not got rid of Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
It was kind of like we had 10 seconds left, and we were just like,
we need a tight end.
The Tyler Boyd thing kind of threw me for a loop.
Again, the CPU taking a rookie pick over a older player, with them taking Rashad Bateman for McCarron. Mike's team's gonna be very young.
Mike McCarron's going to be very young and very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, especially
I like Irv Smith. I like both of those picks.
Yeah, especially if this forces Mike to start trading, because he doesn't do that in the
I
leagues
honestly don't think it will. I think he's going to have a fairly solid team going into this. I think Irv Smith was probably a draftable starting tight end. I think in redraft leagues he's going to be a viable tight end 1, which is not saying much in terms of tight ends. So don't get me wrong here. It's not going to blow anyone out of the water. But there's been a lot of good news coming out about him also. And last year when he was put in the spotlight, he responded well. So it wouldn't surprise me if some good stuff happened there.
I like how the O'Connors are muted for their draft strategy while they're discussing. I like it.
We're going. Here come the Baltimore wide receivers flying off the board.
Honestly, that was one of my next picks.
By the way, Sargenti, I like Rondale Moore a lot. Not for this year. Eventually, I like Rondale Moore a lot in Arizona.
And he's your 5th.
I even like him for this year.
I don't mind.
I think
him
if he
for
can
this
settle
year,
into the
especially as a 5th wide receiver.
Yeah.
Again, the value on having him in that spot where he's an easy bench player until it comes to fruition. And then if it comes that way, you have Cortland Sutton, who's easy trade bait. The Robbie Anderson, who's decent trade bait. And then more. I hope that's what you name your team. Please change your name to just more, because it seems like every person named Moore is going to end up on your team. But I do like
strategy
where he fits in there. I think I would have done something a little different in your position. But given the keeper rules in this, and given my apology to Tim Murray right here, I think you made a pretty good call there.
Yeah, I had a different idea in mind, and I'm hoping it still wraps around to me. But
I love Terrace Marshall.
I do too.
I guess I should have apologized to more than one person.
More.
So my apologies for that.
Speaking, who has DJ Moore, and should they trade them to Sargenti?
Yes and yes.
I think Berman.
Oh, good luck.
No, I'm not trading for Berman. He's going to ask for Trevor Lawrence for DJ Moore.
It's worth it. More.
You want some more? We got some more.
So yeah, that's you got. You should just message him with the fact that you need more.
Dude, there's just so many more possibilities you can have.
Ugh, that's a Lenny.
That's a Berman pick. Does he have Fournette in your league too, Pat?
I'll be honest. I hate that pick. I know he's not here. If I'm sitting in that position, I'm getting quarterback number 2 instead of running back number 5.
Well,
especially when number 5 is Leonard Fournette. I get number 4 is not going to play this year, but his 1, 2, and 3 are going to play this year. And the fact that he got Etienne to back up Robinson, that was a great move.
Yeah. It's just,
but I think there was many different ways to go with that pick, especially with Mac Jones, a rookie quarterback sitting there.
Nice grab.
I would have been a little bit more surprised. I'm a little bit more surprised that was the pick. Oh, look, another Packer.
All right.
Yo, when the Packers buy with kids, can I play Merrill? Can we arrange that? Who's got the schedule options?
I'm making my first reach of the draft.
Week.
And I'll fully admit that this is a reach, but I want this player, and I've wanted this player the entire time I've done mocks. So they fell to me, so I'm happy.
Honestly, when it comes to Jones, he can get hurt on and off. So I realized, you know what, AJ Dillon has shown what he can do. So I thought I would add him.
So AJ Dillon to back up Jones, good pick. It worked out for you before when you did Jones and Williams. So I get the strategy working out again. The Higbee pick, I love it.
I love Tyler Higbee.
I love Tyler Higbee this year. I do love Tyler Higbee this year. When he is given the opportunity, he has shown up well. The other tight end options are all rookies. We drafted 3 of them. It was the dumbest thing we've ever done in our lives, and that's what we did because we're the Rams, and we trade away all our top picks and then get people we don't need. I only think that you could have gotten him later on.
Ricky, I was
because even
sitting
me
on
as a
him.
Rams fan was not.
Yeah, Corey Davis is a good pick there.
Logan Thomas over Higbee makes sense to me. So I still think Logan Thomas goes there. And I don't think anyone else on this board picks Higbee. So I think you almost get Higbee in 12.
Yeah, I just
and now
I
Ricky's there, so I might be wrong. Ricky can go on and just say I was going to pick. You don't need to raise your hand. You could just come on and say I was going to pick Higbee instead of Thomas, and prove me wrong right now, and that's fine. I get that.
I'll be honest. I wasn't thinking Higbee. Again, tech supporter for life. So Logan Thomas, I figured why not. And I know everyone's a Jet fan here, pretty much. Well, not really everyone. Majority. So I figured at least if I don't want him, trade bait. Why not?
Place for Washington. Where do the Jets come into this? I need help here, guys. Maybe I missed it.
I was waiting for someone to explain it to me.
I love Curtis Samuel.
Corey Davis. Yes, sorry.
I love me Curtis
Davis.
Samuel.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about your Logan Thomas pick. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
By the way,
sorry.
Matt,
I completely ignored your first pick. I went straight for the orange little bubble.
So I'm gonna go ahead
and
on me. Interject here with Matt picking James Conner for his.
Why
RB2.
does Verizon have an email about a response to the Afghanistan crisis?
Okay. Anyway, Matt taking James Conner as his RB2 could turn out to be a very good pick this late in the draft, especially if he actually gets like the majority of the regular work and Chase Edmonds is the passing down guy and James Conner's like the regular running back. It's just another health concern running back, but still, if he gets all the work in Arizona, including the goal line work, that could be a value pick in the 10th round.
Yeah, definitely good value.
I find that James Conner has been swept under the rug for so long that you just don't know what he's going to be.
You mean buried under the rug?
That's what and that's what scares me about James Conner is that you just.
In a very unsurprising move, Berman took Ingram.
Well, so here's the thing with Evan Ingram, right? He has been sporadic, to say the best, for a tight end.
He's got rocks for hands.
Right. The other thing is, this is the last year of his rookie deal, I believe, before they can pick up his option. So if the Giants choose not to pick up his option, that means he can go sign somewhere else, get a change of scenery, as a dynasty pick, it's not. The options ahead of him could prove better, but also he's picking him in the 11th round. It's not exactly someone that he's focusing to help his team win.
So this may be considered a reach.
So is Tyler Higbee for me, but at this point, I have other players in my lineup that'll make up for that.
It's not deep reach, but I think the news coming out of training camp is what's going to make me do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do this.
Don't do it. Interesting.
Rager. Ooh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Tim, this is Engram's 5th year.
It is his 5th year, so he is a free agent.
This is his last year. Yes.
Yeah. So, like I said, he has.
Ingram doesn't have an excuse after this year.
No,
he has the. There's more weapons on that offense this year than any of the other years he's played with them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
they're always hurt.
Offensive line stays.
I don't know how else to say this. Everyone on the Giants is always hurt, and that is what scares me about picking any player on the team, no matter how good they're ranked, no matter how good their preseason are, no matter how much everyone talks about them. Everyone on the Giants always seems to be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
From the quarterback down, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight ends, every single person on that team always seems to be hurt. I love that pick, by the way.
Thanks.
So in case you
I got good value for it.
But everyone there always seems to be hurt.
Kind of like how you Alex did though, with getting Pollard.
Rory,
that was a good move.
Yeah, had to do it.
That was who I was between. It was Cooks or Rieger for me.
I feel like
someone has to catch the ball in Houston. Someone's got to catch.
I really don't like that I'm drafting after Rory.
I'm sorry.
I stared at Cooks, but I didn't think Rieger was coming back around.
That was a Megan pick, so you can blame her.
I'd like the pick.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking to Andrew. He's not pleased with me.
That's fair.
Oh, there went Will Fuller.
That's the Sargenti pick if I've ever heard one.
Mike Williams?
No, Will Fuller.
No, Sargenti
just
took
shocked that he didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm just shocked that, like, the very next pick. And now this is something interesting because Will Fuller is suspended. And it's the first time that Sleeper has auto-drafted a player who's not starting.
Bateman isn't starting 6 days. Isn't Bateman hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
He's out 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. I want to say groin.
Oh, my groin.
Yeah, something like that.
I haven't followed him because I just don't like wide receivers in Baltimore. So my apologies on that one. Bateman, solid rookie value. But again, so this might be where you're looking at if you were actually drafting.
Oh, there went.
Do you take Mooney? Oh, you didn't think that was going to really fall to you, did you?
I was hoping.
Stop yourself.
I love Darnell Mooney. I love.
That's
I
what I
know
was
you do, but yeah, that's so far away. You know that wasn't getting back to you.
Look, a guy can hope, right?
No. So at least St. Brown now. St. Brown will fill his wide receiver 3 role. For now.
I was looking at St. Brown, but I mean, I got him in the ESPN draft. I was thinking I was going to get him too, but nice move. Want to get this there? Possible.
So everyone's got at least 2 quarterbacks except for Berman, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I still don't have a second starter, and neither does. Oh no, so that's got Darnold. I still don't have a second starter.
Right. Who knows? Maybe Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback week 1.
No, they already announced that.
I don't think it's going to make it much longer than week 4, but I don't think it's going to be week 1.
You're not wrong.
No, Chicago already announced that Don's starting week 1, so depends what he does.
So this might be the dumbest part of me. I I hate
Worried.
the Henderson pick because of picking up Michelle, and I hate the Damian Harris pick because they let go of Michelle.
Just took my pick.
And I know it's a stupid thing to say because if you don't view Michelle as that good, then what are you worried about? I think Damian Harris was the lead back in that group all the time, and I think the Rams, who weren't going to go out and get a running back, going out and getting a running back says something extra.
Something weird. I wouldn't draft it.
I honestly think they just watched 2 of their running backs go down, and they're worried. I think Darrell Henderson's the lead horse going into week 1. I do think Sony Michel is going to rip into some of those carries, of course. But Darrell Henderson's going to get the goal line work. He's going to be there on the first 2 downs. Michel will be there on the 3rd down, and rip it. It's going to be the hot hand. I agree with that. But I'm picking Henderson on the off chance that Sony's there on the kickback, and if he's not, he's not. But I think the lead back there is Henderson, at least going into the season.
I think that's a great way to look at it. And again, we looked at value of person. He's your running back 4. So is it the right matchup? Yeah, then start him. Is it not the right matchup? Awesome, bench him. And that's.
And again, it's also league format as well, right? You informed me, I learned on the fly that we're only keeping a starting lineup. So if it turns out that Sony Michel has a hell of a year and he's going to be offered a new contract at the end of the year because he's going to be a free agent, then take care. Have a nice one, Henderson. So I think it's just an upside play only at this point in the draft. So
there it is.
I'm okay with it.
You just like picking.
I'm okay with it. I was just saying that I think Henderson's value took a little bit of a drop when Michelle came in.
1,000%. He would have been off the board already.
I don't think that, in my opinion, Harris's value went up at all. So I wanted to kind of knock on myself with how I felt about Sony Michel. And it's more of the team that wants you and usually plays you a little bit more.
Winston's gonna start.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why I agreed to go host this. That way I could just have my own TED Talks. Winston was my other choice, but I didn't think Kenny Gainwell would get back around to me.
No.
So I did not leave him there.
Yeah, no, so I think
exactly.
Winston's going to start over
Hill. Jameis Winston was – I do like Jameis Winston, especially getting him that late as his second starting
Mac Jones
quarterback. Another moment where I think maybe Berman looking better than he sounds. Mac Jones as your 3rd quarterback.
Who?
Okay. Trade bait?
Who?
Trade bait? Kirk Cousins trade bait, I should say.
Run a marathon?
A what?
A marathon.
The what? The what?
A marathon. I hope people understand that reference.
I got it.
Okay.
2 of them did.
Yeah.
It's the league. You gotta watch
2 that giggled understood the reference.
Here's the fun part of the draft, where there's all this disgusting stuff that I don't want to touch.
Like when does Mims go off the board? You mean
when Mims doesn't go off the board because he's running with the
part
threes.
Of the draft.
For now,
he's running with the 3s.
And he had food poisoning. He lost like 20 pounds.
Yeah, because he ate bad salmon.
He'll get back.
Hey, you know what?
What is it with the Jets and doing things they shouldn't do with like raw fish? You know what I'm saying?
I get it like mono.
Oh.
Okay, so you do get what I'm. Okay, you're the only one who got what I was saying.
Oh.
Just.
Yeah. All right.
What is it with the Jets and that?
Sorry,
is that
YouTube.
A thing up in? I was gonna say, is it a thing in New York? But I'm here in New York, so is that a thing in Jersey? Like, do they just start diving into things they shouldn't be diving into?
Hey, I get it, diving. Mecole Hardman, Ricky. That's a very interesting pick. I like it though. He's one hamstring pull away from being a wide receiver. 2.
1.
Yeah.
1.
Tyreek Hill gets hurt. Mecole Hardman moves.
If Tyreek Hill goes down, Mecole Hardman jumps. Jumps.
Yeah, for all the all the passes.
Yeah. Well, no, he usually dives down for them. I've seen the highlights.
When he actually catches.
There's not a lot of jumping in that offense. There's a lot more diving towards balls that are placed.
I thought you said the Jets do the
by
diving.
A guy who wasn't looking at him.
No, we tried to, but the Rams let us beat them. So no, we didn't do the diving.
No, that's tanking.
Same thing. Oh, Ricky took Gronk before Matt could.
I was gonna take.
That's just rude.
The
Oh,
value.
Ricky, you took your third tight end
Great
already.
rudeness.
He took a
You're
third
taking
tight end.
third tight end. Oh my god.
Well, I'll be honest. I knew Matt wanted it coming up, so I said, "What the fuck? Why not?"
Like,
I really wasn't
Although
gonna take
it would have been Matt's third tight end. So
Oh well. This...
who needs tight ends? I don't need tight ends.
you need at least one.
Am I the only one without a tight end?
I took
You
one
might
and
need
then
a
I'm
second
done.
one since Ingram will be hurt by the third week. So you might need a second one, which is convenient because there's some people who have 3 now.
I'd say,
Nice. I
well,
like
to
Russell
trade.
Gage.
Love me some Russell Gage.
Am I beeping? Who's beeping?
I couldn't take another Falcon, so that's why I passed on him.
I like that Jamal Williams pick.
Jamal Williams. Now it's
Let's see what's
now you still have all 3 Green Bay running backs. It's just now they're on 2 different teams.
Well, honestly, with Swift having injury issues, I thought, you know what, Williams has shown what he can do in Green Bay. I think he can do in
I
Detroit.
don't think Williams is going to need an injury. I think Williams is going to play.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I
think
know
Swift is
that.
going
I'm
to
just
play
saying
also,
that.
but I think Williams is going to play. I don't think they paid for Williams like that to not play him.
You're not
I
wrong.
think
And it's
Williams
Anthony
is going
Lynn.
to play.
Anthony Lynn has the 1A, 1B approach.
Mm-hmm.
Look at.
I'm not knocking the pick. I'm just
Yeah.
stating the fact that you own every running back and backup running back in your division.
All right. I don't have any crazy guys on my
Just
team
realized
yet.
I do.
Who's the crazy guy?
God damn it.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
And now I do.
That one you did get right in front of me.
And Berman took Tony.
That hasn't happened a lot in this draft.
I called that just one round early.
He did. He texted
Happened
me
once.
asking me if Berman was going to take Tony or not, and I said maybe, but he went with the quarterback. So
Okay.
I don't like Kadarius Tony's landing spot. I like the player. I don't like
Yeah.
where he landed.
I don't even know who that
Because
is.
you hate on the Giants.
No, it's not that I hate on the Giants. It's just there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. With them signing Galladay, still have Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley demands passes. It's
Ingram.
Ingram's. What's the other wide receiver that I can't think of?
Kyle Rudolph.
No, I'm thinking about the wide receiver.
Sterling Shepard.
Nope.
Said Shepard.
Russell Shepard.
Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton. Thank you.
Yeah, Slayton,
I don't know who
yeah.
Russell Shepard is and why I said that name. But
He's a wide receiver though.
yeah. No, but Darius Slayton also. Like, there's just a lot going on there. Pat,
I said I wanted him in the 15th round.
I needed a second starting quarterback, and my Antonio Brown pick happened 2 spots right in front of me. So here
Pat
we are.
loves Antonio
Now
Brown.
I have a second.
Why didn't you take
Well,
Jimmy
I do.
Garoppolo so you had a quarterback until Trey Lance took over?
Why don't you shut up?
No, Mims is looking really good right now.
Yeah, you could have taken Jared Goff too. You know, the legendary Rams quarterback that let you
I
guys
could
to
have.
Super
You're
Bowl.
right. And then I decided I wanted a good quarterback, even if it's only for 1 season.
Teddy Bridgewater?
So I took Fitzpatrick.
You should have taken Teddy
I
Bridgewater.
don't
then.
mind Bridgewater. I think Bridgewater should be someone's 16th, 15th round pick. I don't think Bridgewater should be left on waiver wires. Although in this type of league, I don't think any starting quarterback should be left on the waiver wire. But that is a whole different story.
Ricky, that means you take Matt Ryan.
If he's around, I probably will. Let's be honest.
For old time's sake.
Yeah.
I don't like Devontae Parker.
I just gotta say, I really actually like the way my team looks right now. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it going into this because I did a mock draft when I was at my brother's house earlier, and my team looked like hot garbage. So this came out a lot better than it was.
I got pretty much everybody I wanted. There's really only one pick I think I fucked up with Michael Thomas. I didn't mean to
I
do
mean,
that.
Alex keeps taking some of the players that I want, but like Deontay Johnson.
My order kind of went out of whack with Kittle. I did not expect him to fall there.
To the 3rd round, yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, Eckler I was aiming for in that spot, but
I know he's older, but Travis Kelce going as tight end 4 off the board threw me for a loop. I got to be honest with you. I know he's older, but he's still one of the most dominant players in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like he has no signs of letting up either, so that threw me off a little.
Yeah, he could play another
here's
3-4
what I'm going to
years.
ask you, and take it as you will. Do you consider him to be in the discussion, or do you consider the discussion to be 4 tight ends in the first grouping? Or do you think it's only 3 tight ends in the first grouping?
For Dynasty?
For Dynasty.
100. I still would have. Travis Kelce's still my number 1 tight end on the board for Dynasty, even though he's older.
See, for me, he's easily in the 3 or 4 range. Kittle because he's been injured, and Pitts because he is a rookie. Kelce maybe sneaks up to 2. The inconsistent usage that's going to come from Kansas City down the stretch. You can say he's going to keep getting used and used and used, but that team just has so many different ways to go. I don't mind him as tight end 4.
Yeah, no, me personally, like I said, if I was in a spot where I could have taken him and he was the first tight end off the board, I'm taking Travis Kelce because there's no other tight end in history that's been as dominant as him. Even Gronkowski in his prime, nobody's done what Travis Kelce has. What is it, 7 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons? No other tight end in NFL history has 7 total.
More.
What?
This ain't history no more.
I know, but what I'm saying is 7 straight years, 1,000 yards receiving as a tight end. No other tight end in history has ever had 7 total, let alone 7 straight. It's just the dude's a model of consistency.
He was the only thing in Kansas City for 4 years.
Yeah, but even now that they have Tyreek Hill, he still finishes as what would be the wide receiver 10 or 12.
And Darren Waller finished as what would be wide receiver what?
Tim, it's 5 years.
5 years? I thought it was 7.
We getting an auto pick here?
Maybe. Time's up.
Uh-oh. That's going to be back-to-back auto picks.
Oh, there went Mims.
Mims.
Wait, didn't have him auto pick for the next one.
He probably had him ranked or something. Or
And it also might mean that he's there. He just didn't get his pick in time.
True.
right.
Because the only time I would do auto picks if you're not there anymore. I wonder if it goes back-to-back auto picks, if it'll put him on auto.
McCarron answered me. He's
He
like,
he may not be there anymore because he's been. I mean, you drafted almost the whole team at this point. He was at work trying to do this all. So respect the fact for doing the whole thing at work.
Yeah. McCarron.
I mean,
at least he was able to make it
He
on.
didn't auto pick until now. So if you made it all the way until now without auto drafting at work, well done.
Yeah.
I'll live with it. It is what it is. Probably put his phone down to do something at work and just has it still sitting there open, can't get to it. So
No, works out in his favor that it's on the
normally
end.
Sean's the instant auto draft. So the fact that he was here for 12 rounds, that's more than I can ask for when you're at work trying to do something. I'm gonna finish my whiskey 2 rounds early, and that's depressing.
Nope.
Well, let's see if this puts him on auto.
Time's up.
It did put him on auto. Amari Rodgers.
Not a bad move.
Troutman's a terrible pick. I don't have other words for that. That's all I got. And I was very high on Troutman about 4 days ago. Then he got hurt. And that's a smart pick because now you see who the Rams use as their hot hand. And whichever one the Rams go with, that's who you start. And that's who you can start. So smart play there.
No, I took Troutman as trade bait if he ends up taking off towards the end of the season because I have Kittle. I don't need another tight
Is
end.
he going to play this year? What happened with him?
Yeah, he's only got 1 to 3 weeks.
Is that what they said? Okay.
Yeah. So if he has a good second half of the season, I can trade him to someone who needs a tight end.
With the plethora of tight ends, you better hope so that this team makes the playoffs and needs one.
oh, wow. He hasn't taken a tight end yet.
No.
You don't need those. Tight ends are the kickers of this league.
Was I the only one who noticed that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, I noticed.
I did not.
Okay. And I get it because there's still 5 of them, and you got to imagine that 5 more aren't coming off the board.
I mean, what's his face gets 4 tight ends over there.
Don't tempt him.
Now, if he hasn't picked a tight end by his last pick, will it make him draft a tight end?
We'll find out.
No, I don't know what Sleeper does in regards to that, but I assume
Oh yeah, maybe not.
that it will not. I know the only one I've ever seen that forces you to fill your roster is ESPN. They're the only ones that I've ever seen that make you.
Right. I've never seen
that.
Yahoo do it.
I am going to take a second tight end right now.
Don't take mine. That was not what I was looking for.
Interesting.
And I will be right back because I'm at whiskey.
I'll be right back because I gotta go potty.
Have fun. Ooh, Will, your pig's you're almost up though, Tim.
He'll be fine. He's right next to his bathroom.
That's true. I can always wait a few seconds to grab my pick though.
No, draft it in the first 5 seconds to make him sweat.
Well, I could do that. As long as he was going to grab, I know who I'm going to probably get. Oh, I was looking at McKissick. But let's do this. Now we wait.
Wasn't Hawkins cut today or something?
I'll take a look.
Ricky, you're the Atlanta fan. Wasn't Hawkins cut?
I honestly have no clue. I know they got Josh Rosen, so that's what I saw.
Yeah.
All they're putting out
I
there.
like it yesterday. Yeah, he was let go. Yep. Still, he can get picked up anywhere. You never know what he can do, or he'll go back on the practice squad for Atlanta. So.
They'll bump him to the practice squad and wait for an injury to pull him up.
And when it comes to Atlanta and injuries, it's bound to happen.
Oh, that's gonna make Ricky sad. That was payback for the Gronkowski pick.
I think it's a great
100%.
pick. It may have been payback, but I feel like you needed to have a QB2.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Ryan, with the numbers he's put up, is absolutely great value in the 14th round.
Yeah. Don't want to talk about it, Pat.
He's great value.
All right.
Oh, Brian Edwards. Oh, all right. Well done. Brian Edwards was my last round pick in every mock draft.
Another Jet off the board.
Not surprising. Again, Tevin Coleman's supposed to be RB1 this year.
Yeah, but like every other time, Tevin Coleman will lose that job.
I completely expect that. That's hence the reason that the Jets wide running back was picked way earlier. But at least 14th round, you're getting the presumptive starter. So Michael Carter may have gone in the 8th round, but Tevin Coleman's supposed to start. and you get him in the 14th. T.Y. Hilton's a great pick.
I just find it funny that a couple of years ago, the fact that he was going like top 2, now he's dropped so much.
The health is the issue, and you got to stay healthy. You'll get replaced. Pittman, look at him. He's took everything that was there, and then Rivers, he's a good quarterback, but he wasn't a fit for T.Y. T.Y. got hurt in practice the other day, reaching for a ball. So it's just very interesting to watch how it all builds up. And I think that's why T.Y. was almost on waivers on most boards. Again, as a late round grab to see what he does. Anything that happens beyond the 13th round is see what happens. Nothing's happening down here that like, oh God, I should have drafted him. This is all a what do you see might happen area. And grabbing T.Y. Hilton, who was a top 3rd round pick for the last 2 years in the 15th round, that's solid value. Dynamic Brown's an interesting player for me.
Curious to see who Ricky takes with Mr.
Are you
Irrelevant.
on auto draft?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No.
I just had it queued up.
No, I can draft from my phone.
Oh, that too.
You should take a shit?
Yep.
And that's what you took?
Yep.
Well, yeah, it reminded him of the player.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I think Claude finished top 10 last year.
Are you talking about Derek Carr or are you talking about Hawkins as the shit pick? Carr is consistent.
Yeah.
And he is my quarterback 3.
There's Marcus Mariota. Someone call him back up.
Carr finished 13 last year.
Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with Derek Carr.
And in the 15th round, yeah.
And as my quarterback 3 in case Carson Wentz gets hurt.
When Carson Wentz
gets hurt.
Shut up.
I think there were several people who said that at the same time.
Shut up. Excuse me.
No.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And just loading up the Giants.
So I said something to you earlier when Sony Michel was traded.
Yeah, I knew who you were taking here.
And I thought someone gained more than the other person didn't move up. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now.
Oh, man, I thought you were going to take Cam Newton.
That was my other option. And then I realized Cam Newton sucks. And I was never going to do that.
Matt, you're very close to the camera.
But it was close.
There you go.
And now we get to the part where we enjoy everyone's last round pick.
And Alex Henry
who
is
does
not available.
everyone feel as just the greatest reach?
What do you mean Chris Henry's not available?
Hate it.
Mike just took my last pick, damn it. Now I gotta find a new one.
He shouldn't have.
That was
Murray is getting
there's
shuffled back like there's no tomorrow.
one jet left.
There's one jet
Only
left?
one?
Pretty much.
Chris Herndon?
I'm moving to a different league. Hold on.
Who's Herndon? Oh, okay, there's 2 jets.
All right, here, I'll fix that then.
Here. I'm leaving.
All right, Johnson.
Oh, good pick.
I'll fix that.
Hunter Henry. Smart pick. If anyone would like to hang out and talk roster, I don't know what Tim's doing, but it's only 9:30. So.
That was my wife's fault. I wanted Gardner Minshew.
And once again, your wife proves that she's smarter than you are.
That's a valid point.
Oh, and Sean has returned to point out the fact that no one ever turned him off auto draft, which he has to do by himself.
Oh. Well.
Team's only 9:35. I'll stay on the top roster. I have no problems with that.
More up to Jim, who hosts the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good to be on for a few more hours. Not a few more hours, sorry.
Okay, not a few more hours. We have a podcast to post.
12 hours later.
Facts. Let's see. Suts is looking for any jet he can find that makes sense.
No, I was looking for somebody interesting. Wait, where'd he go?
Vinny Testaverde might be available.
You have 15 seconds.
You already made that joke.
I didn't make Vinny Testaverde.
I
like
did.
that, Greg.
Oh.
I like
I
that.
thought you said? I got a young, get my team a little younger. You like my tight ends?
Eagle Patty?
He didn't grab a tight end, did he?
Nope. He did not.
Not one.
He has absolutely none, which doesn't make any sense because you have to start someone in that position. So
it's a bold strategy.
I'm hoping
Cotton.
someone
Let's
on
see
his
if it
team
pays
just
off.
gets hurt that we can put him on IR.
I'll pick somebody up.
Like you could have done with the last pick of your draft.
That's
pick
the
someone
further
else,
we're
and
getting
that means
to.
you'll have
You
to
don't
drop
have a
someone that you
space to pick a
drafted.
tight end.
Yeah, now I have the choice of making a dumb decision. I like to live dangerously.
I'm gonna do this.
You did the bold strategy and went old with no tight ends.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this because I haven't done it anywhere else.
I like that pick.
Let's go.
Oh, good pick, Alex.
I like the
Good
Jacoby pick. I like the Jacoby pick. Good grab.
That is a very good grab.
What would I rather do? I'll do this. I hate myself, but why not?
You should hate yourself. That was a terrible pick.
I knew I wanted to grab, but I was not sure. Honestly, you don't know what to do with Winston, so if he doesn't play
You
well...
wanted Big Ben, didn't you?
No, I did not want Big Ben, no.
Suddenly, my Derek Carr pick's looking better.
I mean,
Sherbert.
Teddy Bridgewater is a better pick than Taysom Hill.
I was actually going with Marvin Jones as my last pick. So
Teddy Bridgewater is a starter. Taysom
Sherbert.
Hill is never going to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Hi, Sherbert.
Well, if this person doesn't get grabbed, I know who I should have grabbed, but when do we...
Well, you have time to correct that because, well, everyone goes to waivers.
Yeah.
So...
And when is that...
Start?
I honestly don't know.
Mr. Ravel,
it
better be
free
legendary. No
agency.
pressure.
Well, you know what it is? I'm looking at my running backs, and I realize that 3 out of my 4 have a bye week 6. So
That's almost as bad as drafting everyone from the same team.
Well, the good news is I have 6 running backs.
All right. No, I'm pretty sure I have to click a button to submit this draft. But I don't know.
Just don't redo it or screenshot it first.
I don't think so.
And hit this button.
Alex, does he have to press anything?
We're good to go. We're good to go.
No, I don't think so.
No, we're good to go. Everything is
Yeah,
set.
We're good.
I am projected by 78% to beat Suts because he doesn't have a tight end. And I played him week 1.
Keep
And
guessing.
I think that's awesome because I have 2 tight ends that have both decided to start.
You want to trade?
Yeah, I would love to trade. Hit me.
What do you got there? I'll trade you for Waller.
So before we go into this too much, who's got the echo now?
I don't know. You have to talk again.
I do not know who is doing it.
There's no
Maybe
echo.
it's-
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Multiple talking. Cool. So we have our draft board here. Let's pull that full thing up. There it goes. Perfect. Going through league settings, I had it set to Dynasty instead of a keeper league. That is going to be something that I attempt to fix the way it should be. I want a Dynasty, that way it ranked everyone properly for auto drafts. Dynasty basically makes you keep your entire roster and then expand rosters by a set number of positions the next year. So that is something that you may see change in the settings thing. That is what that is. Other than that, everything is the way it is. There are bonuses for 100 and 200 point of yard games. Everything else is a straightforward PPR league. Is there any questions regarding settings, points, or anything else in the league? Well, everyone that wanted to be here is here. That way we can address that for you guys. No one's here. Nice face. Yes. I'm here.
Well, I have one because of ESPN how it had decimals, so like 0.67. Is that gonna be in there too, or is it just straight up? Like...
Yes, there will be fractional points. Fractional points are awarded based off of if you got 115 yards instead of 120, you'll still get 11.5 instead of just 11.
So it's not two
fractional
spots,
points.
One.
Fractional points are a thing.
Well, no, because in our draft there was a case where it was almost a tie, and it went like 0.67, like, and it's going to just round to 0.7, or will it be 0.67?
I believe it's 2 decimal points.
Quarterbacks.
Okay.
2 decimal.
The quarterbacks are the quarterbacks are the only ones that get the fourth number.
0.01.
Merrill, if you look at the projections right now, it rounds to the hundreds.
Which would be the best thing to do before that, which would have made sense for me. So I probably
I see it.
So it will go to the second decimal point. Those are primarily quarterbacks. There are other things that will factor into that, but primarily quarterbacks will get that. Anyway, I know a couple of you just viewed the post today that had all the points in it and everything else that was happening. So hit me. Let me know if you have any questions about the league that I can answer for you.
I take it that the free agency is open.
Yeah,
it seems that way.
So here's the thing: it did not do. I tested it to see if it was waivers or not, and it's not at waivers.
It should not be.
It should not be. Okay, cool.
Wait, it's just a free for all.
It is a free for all. The draft was a free for all. You could have drafted someone as your last pick. That's your own damn fault. The waivers are a free for all.
That one of the commissioners of the league is just taking the best free agent. Just.
I didn't know.
Well, you should have known. I honestly plus there instead of a yellow plus.
I'm giving you a yellow card.
Okay.
I'm okay with the yellow card. You probably shouldn't have picked up someone until we discussed this in the group.
Unbelievable.
So straight to free agency, everyone. Congratulations. If you have any player on the PUP list, the not applicable list does not count.
Who gave me the shit reaction?
Me.
Obviously. Pay attention.
I thought I made that clear.
I got 2.
And suspended. Not applicable and suspended players cannot be moved to your IR spot. Everybody else can. Any player who opts out of the season, I don't know if any of that happened this year. I don't think any of it's going to happen this year. PUP out for a single week, COVID related, can be moved to your IR spots.
Then that's how I made the move.
One of the IR spots is reserved for a COVID player. So you can only put 3 injured players on your IR. The 4th spot must be reserved for someone with COVID. So do not fill your 4th IR spot unless someone's out that week. It gives you the flexibility to add a player and not get a 0 on your board. As we discussed in the last thing, if you can make a sub, you have to make a sub. If you can't make a sub, we will make one for you. But that's why we're keeping that extra spot open that way. If you can make a sub, you can make a sub.
So, Ricky, I love the new team name. Look, I didn't know. I didn't know. That's
I was
why
more
I said
laughing
it.
at the fact that Merrill dropped Taysom Hill and picked up Jordan Love.
Yeah,
thought he could get away with that unscathed.
It's the best free agent move so far.
Well, I was always going to do originally. I'm like, wait, do I want to go to Andrew Love? Because I didn't want Tyler's going to call me up to every player in the NFC North, but I realized this could be Rodgers last year in Green Bay, which means why not grab his potential replacement when he possibly leaves next year, especially in Dynasty.
I like the Pitts. I like the Devontae Booker ad
Yep.
after moving someone to
because
IR. Oh, Cam Akers. Okay.
Because CD Lamb is listed as COVID still, so I was able to throw him in the IR slot. So figured why not grab John?
You should 100% not do that. That's some dirty ass thing that you should not be doing. Go put Jonnu Smith back on. Go put Jonnu Smith back on waivers.
Why? Because CD Lamb has a
belongs.
COVID designation to his thing right now. I can't put him on the IR.
Preseason. Come on.
Is it a designation?
You're better than that.
Is it a designation?
No, it's perfectly legal.
It is.
I didn't say it was illegal. I said you're better than that. That's
No,
what I said. Don't get me wrong. I said you're better than that.
I am
didn't
not.
say you were wrong.
Absolutely
You were
not better than that.
He's not better than that.
There you go. Does anyone need the?
I didn't do
draft
that. I
board
put a guy on the IR that is gone for the year. Timmy's just cheating. So
Yeah. Right. Because
he's not. He's going to be off COVID next week before the season even gets close to starting.
Which means then
He's
I'll have
already off
to.
COVID.
Which means then I'll have to drop somebody. You guys are forgetting about that part.
Let's slowly come into.
Commish made the rules. No.
Technically, Pat made the rules, so no.
I made the rules.
Yeah, Pat made all the rules, so blame him.
I did make all the rules.
Hashtag blame Rory.
I won't do that this time because this time it's Tim's fault.
Nope.
I'm
I
gonna.
didn't do anything to deserve this.
I agree. That's why I didn't blame you this
I
time.
maybe would have drafted differently if I knew that rule was kind of, a thing. There was free agents right away.
I didn't know that rule either.
Okay, all you had to do is read the rules in the league to know that rule. So I don't take any blame for that whatsoever. If you can't read, that's on you.
Well, it's different than Yahoo. Just saying. You just never know.
Oh, shut
It's
up
not.
about
You can set
Yahoo.
the same things in Yahoo. And the same things were set in Yahoo. I took the exact same settings over. There's actually a button in the sleeper to do that. And that's what I did.
Alex, I got you week 1.
All right, it's been fun. Good luck for the season. If anyone needs a tight end, I got 3.
Look at you, Seth.
I'll hit you
Look at
up.
Gotcha. Everyone can stay on and talk if they would like to. We're going to continue this for a little bit.
Can I talk about how I don't like the mobile app of this thing?
The mobile app is not good for drafting. It will be perfectly fine when you want to add players and manage your team and stuff like that. The app does work perfectly fine for that. But during draft, it was definitely much better on the computer. Because last year I drafted on the 2 years ago. Was it that we did that league, Rory? I did the draft on my phone, and I wanted to throw it somewhere into a very
you were
deep
not
river.
pleased.
The app sucked. To put it nicely, you couldn't see who anyone was drafting. You had to switch between your player thing and then go over to the list and then go over to the draft board and then go over to the list and then go back to your players. And anyone you added to the watch list didn't go on your teammates' watch list. So it was just your own. And it was like, well, I'm not even drafted. So it kind of sucked.
You guys are a bunch of bullies, by the way.
They have made it.
Yay,
much
peer
better.
pressure.
Yep. I gave in to peer pressure, man.
Oh, no, not in the $5 league. You haven't given in to peer pressure. We'd hate to see that.
Oh, no.
We wouldn't know what to do with ourselves.
Oh, Alex, I just got that joke you were making throughout the draft now, and I am so dumb.
Oh, I thought you were with me on that.
No. Does anyone else get it? When he kept saying who for Mac Jones? Mike Jones?
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Sutz shook his head no, so I was talking to Sutz.
I was just so surprised that was what you didn't get. Might have been what he was shaking his head at also.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Who made the poop emoji again? God damn it, Alex.
And everything you do should just be granted with a poop emoji.
No, Alex, I like our matchup for week 1 though. Except for
I honestly haven't checked it out.
Except for the fact that Christian McCaffrey is projected for 27.96 points.
It was you with the Minshew jersey. We knew it. Oh my God, we weren't fooled at all.
What are you talking about?
I was so fooled.
Well, you'll have to tune into the podcast when it gets posted, Rory, and see what we're talking about.
Okay. Yo, can I tell you, it's like that was just like my sex life. It was 20 seconds of preparation for 35 seconds. 20 minutes of preparation for 35 seconds of action.
Nice.
The fact that it took you 3 times to describe your sex life.
Oh my God! I
I
spoiled
right
the
now.
joke. It's okay.
Overall, I think it was a very early on chalk draft. There was a couple of reaches. I do think the auto draft did well in the beginning.
Yeah, and actually, I'm facing Mike first week, and we're relatively close. I think once he moves his roster on, I'm only projected to win by like 10.
Yeah, so I think the auto draft in this was much better than the auto draft in other leagues.
The auto draft was much better than Mike.
I won't go into that. Mike didn't get the draft.
I
I've
showed
seen him draft before, so you're probably right.
He even said it because I told him I'm like it's pretty much better than how you drafted. He said that's absolute facts. So it's really not a bad team for him.
No, it's not.
It definitely took some players he wouldn't have looked at.
Etienne goes down. How many people here move James Robinson up significantly?
No. For dynasty rankings, no, because for redraft,
in general, yeah. Even in redraft, I don't know how many people moved him up significantly.
James Robinson puts himself in the top 15 in redraft.
I think he goes up at least 2 rounds.
Did you really think that Etienne was going to rip into his targets that much?
I think he was going to take the receiving work.
Absolutely. 100%.
So, and this is my only opinion on this. You've watched what happened with Joe Burrow. You watched what happened with several quarterbacks get hurt when running backs don't know how to do their job. And Travis Etienne is not a good blocking running back. It's not his forte. It's not what he's good at. It's not anything about it. And when you put a passing down running back on there, probably 7 times out of 10, it's to go out and catch a pass. But he needs to know how to block also. So for all the talk there was, I don't put Etienne anywhere. I don't think James Robinson's draft value should have increased at all with Etienne going out.
Josh Jacobs was a trash blocking running back coming out of college, and now he's one of the best ones in the league. You're talking about a 21-year-old kid who can't improve. He already put on
learning is learning.
He got hurt. Like that's the one thing I'm not worried about. If it's Tim Tebow you're talking about blocking, well then that's a different story. Like, because that went viral. That was bad, right?
That spin move onto his ass was phenomenal. If you can fall down like that, you could play quarterback for the Jets any day of the week.
My point being
and fumble the ball behind you.
It was very important to be able to pick up Etienne and then get James Robinson 2 rounds later. I did really appreciate that because I did the same thing with the Rams running backs. But like, you can't hate on the fact that like Robinson isn't going to be good for this year, because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
I don't know. So this is what I'm saying. For this year, I don't think Etienne going down affects where you draft James Robinson.
So what about for next year then?
A dynasty league, I think Etienne moves up because you don't draft him that high without the anticipation of training him, teaching him, and using him.
What kind of league is this?
This is a dynasty redraft league. We're not talking about this league. We all knew he was going to be thrown to the wolves in this league because you can only keep a maximum of 3 running backs.
Sure. So at the end of this year, all things even, you're keeping Etienne.
No, I'm dropping Etienne, and that's where I don't understand drafting him. I don't think he falls into your top 24 in running backs after sitting out a full year, letting Robinson get another year, and then maybe he fits into your flex spot. Maybe that's where you want to throw him in. But as a player who's not going to play at all this year, as a player who didn't show you all that much in the preseason games he got to play, is he really someone that you're going to put on your roster to hold on to for next year?
Well, let me read you his running backs. Okay, so he has Najee Harris, Edwards-Helaire, Robinson, and Etienne, and Leonard Fournette. You're
assuming that he's going to have to pick which Jacksonville running back he wants to keep.
Correct. So if you're faced with Berman's choice at the end of this season, who are you taking?
What are his wide receivers?
You're taking.
What are his wide receivers?
Galladay, Beckham, or Shepard, Edwards, Tony. and Chase.
So are you guaranteeing that the conversation at the end of the year is going to come down to a Jacksonville running back, or are you going to throw a wide receiver in there?
I mean, you're already keeping 3 wide receivers.
And then you're keeping a flex spot in a
Correct.
PPR league. In my opinion, with what happened to him and what the situation with our keepers is, Etienne is a 13th to 16th round pick. And I think he was drafted entirely too early based off of preseason projections from something that doesn't exist anymore. And that's the only point I'm asking here is, yes, he was ranked. When you looked at the chart, he was in the top 60 because that's where everyone thought he might be if he played this year. But he's not going to play this year. Robinson's going to get a full year of playing. Urban Meyer's going to get fired by week 8 because he's a college quarterback who sucks in the pros.
I found out what
Jacksonville
this has come
Jaguars
down to.
team is going to fall apart as quickly as they can because they're the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I get the idea of Etienne, but I don't get the drafting of him before the 14th round. In this situation, if it's the full dynasty, keep your whole roster, whatever. But when you're only keeping a starting lineup, if you look at any of the teams in this league, does he fall into someone who's going to replace someone that played a full year? Or is he someone that should probably have been skipped over and auto-drafted occasionally onto McCarron's team?
Someone else jump in here, because otherwise I'm just going to argue with Pat for the next hour, and you guys are just going to fall asleep.
That's what I'm good at.
I'm just going to enjoy the show here.
I mean, personally, I agree with Pat. Honestly, I think that he should have been a later round pick. I mean, you're really just banking on him being a super top running back and holding on to him next year is the only reason you draft him, I think.
Well, I don't disagree, and I think we're arguing 2 different points. I'm saying that if at the end of this year, Berman's going to be faced with a choice with a Jacksonville running back, you can look at his roster, dissect his roster, and tell me who he's going to keep. Otherwise, I'm the one facing him this year.
Well, he might not have to draft either. He might have to drop both depending on how his team works out because you can only take a full roster.
Right. But
so unless he takes one as a flex, he'll end up losing both.
How do I look at his team?
Right. And
so
right now his wide
question. And
he's not going to keep a receiver in
I'm
the
sorry
flex.
if I made this inconclusive.
No, it's an intriguing argument that sets up very well for this league, right? And Etienne has gone very high in drafts. A lot of people have rated him as an overdraft prospect even before the injury. But again, this is a dynasty league, and Urban Meyer loves to spread the ball out to his running backs, which fits James Robinson. And Etienne is not good at blocking, but if there's anything that Etienne has shown through his time in college is that he has evolved as a back. And so he's already come out and said he's putting on weight so he can beat block better. He's already come out and said that he's going to work on his hands so he can catch better out of the backfield. But honestly, I buy the hype, I guess. I buy there goes Tony Jones just got picked up by Sergenti.
Well, the other thing I'll give you is you have to respect the fact that they took Lawrence and Etienne, the 2 players who said they wanted to play together.
Right, sure.
They said that's what they said they wanted. They said they wanted to play together. I'm not questioning Etienne's pickup in any sort of dynasty league where you can keep a whole bunch of you keep 15 keepers or 15 players and you're drafting a 4 to 5 round supplemental draft. It's in this league, and I get Cam Akers had 1 year, so Cam Akers goes because you can throw him on your list. You know kind of what he does in the NFL. You've seen him play. You've seen it go. Is Travis Etienne a person that at the end of a year where he didn't play, a person you're going to put into your starting lineup and say, I'm keeping you? And the only reason I say that is he's kind of a person who should have just been dropped. You know,
he's not going to keep a receiver in his flex spot, though. His receivers aren't great.
Rory.
Yeah,
Rory wants to move on, so let's move on.
All right.
And Meryl said good luck, so now we're definitely going to move on because Meryl said we wouldn't do it. So now we're going to do it. Let's talk about Matt Sutz.
Yeah, baby.
The no tight end
Not
strategy.
picking a tight end.
Let's talk about
Not
Sutz,
picking
baby.
a starting lineup. You don't have any player to throw on your injury reserve. Why don't you pick up a starting lineup?
The problem
you
now,
have to
so I
drop
can
someone anyway.
Yeah,
you
so I could
really
think
want
about.
someone to feel like I wanted you because I drafted you, and then I'm going to drop you because you kind of suck. But I'm going to pick up a tight end in your place. What is that?
Why don't you just pick up Jonnu Smith since he's now available?
Yeah, Jonnu Smith
he's-
is definitely the player you should add on.
Pretty much the
I
first
don't
one I'm looking at.
know who may have picked up Jonnu Smith at any point during.
I thought he got picked up. I don't know if he's available anymore.
Possibly inelligibly, possibly just being a person who picked up Jonnu Smith. I'm just curious.
Don't hate the
Who
player,
you
hate
gonna
the
pick
game.
up?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Well, hate all of it.
I'm between
Hate
him
Taylor.
and Ertz and
Ew.
Blake Jarwin.
The fact that
actually.
you just said Zach Ertz's name is gross.
And Blake Jarwin.
Bye, Alex.
I mean, we did talk about earlier throughout the draft that Matt Sutch drafted the ultimate team from 2012.
Facts.
You did.
So I might as well go get Ertz to help me out.
So hear me on this one. While we're sitting here talking about it, Gerald Everett.
Not bad.
Disgruntled, disgraced Rams tight end, whatever you want to call him. Disgraced by the big white dude. It's like Matt playing tight end. That's what Tyler Higbee is. Tyler Higbee and Matt might be the same person. And yet Tyler Higbee, tight end 1, bye-bye Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett moves on to Seattle.
Yeah.
Arch rival. Rams, Seattle. If you look at the history of the defenses in the NFC West, consistently bad against tight ends. You have 6 games against them.
I'm looking for somebody
Where
for
do
week
we
1.
put Gerald Everett in this world of players who got dropped into someone who maybe shouldn't have gotten dropped? Oh, good. Thank God Rory's here. Only person. Yes.
Sit this one out.
Sorry, I completely missed the question. I'm trying to figure out how to get the notifications to turn on the app.
So
why didn't Sutz pick up Gerald Everett? There's the question.
Hold on, before
Because Sutz had no strategy. Sutz had the Ricky strategy where there was no plan.
I've heard of no strategy. I've never heard of not draft. Oh, wait, is this a catcher? Did someone forget to draft a catcher in a baseball league? Someone called Greg Halzak.
So no, they didn't forget to start draft a catcher. They played an entire season without a catcher.
I think I found a new segment for our podcast, Pat. It's we get Rory in here and I pick a topic and you guys just debate it.
That could be quality for anyone who watches. It could always work out that way.
I've done the fastest Googling in my life to tell Pat that he's wrong.
I think you guys will max
And
out the
it's
allowable time on the podcast.
I think you're right.
My lifelong thing to argue with him.
We are already.
No tight end.
This is our
Yeah,
longest.
I'm gonna stream
Oh.
tight ends like fucking kickers. That's
Yeah, but
my
you don't
plan.
have one to stream.
I got
They
plenty
all
to
got
stream.
drafted.
I'm gonna look at the matchups. I got plenty of time until the first game.
He's gonna pick up a tight end while he's taking his morning poop. He's gonna be taking that morning poop, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, Jonnu Smith has a good matchup. Drop the deuce."
Well, and then it's less time for whoever I drop to be available for you to pick up. So I don't want that to happen either.
We do 1-day waivers. They are good to go the next day.
Well, not
I know,
if he drops them on Sunday.
But you might, and not everybody's gonna be looking every day like you, fiend. It's gonna. Some people are like, once, twice a week. Just trying to hold on to what I got. Trust me, I got a strategy. Don't worry about it. We're fine.
He has no strategy, and that's fine. That is half the fun of being in a league. Michael Merrill.
Oh boy.
You drafted everyone in the NFC North. Talk us through it.
Except Viking players.
He's got Madison.
Oh yeah.
You drafted everyone in the NFC North. You drafted a lot of backup running backs in the NFC North.
Guys, I got to be out. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you guys soon, all right?
Later.
It's been worthy.
Thanks for joining.
Well, not in the entire NFC North. I mean, let me see.
Williams, Madison, and Dillon. You have 3 of the 4 backup running backs.
Oh, backups.
In the
Okay,
NFC
my
North.
bad. I misinterpreted that. Misheard.
So
honestly,
I guess
AJ
they were your
Dillon.
bench running backs. Just curious as to if there was a plan there, if that was something that backup running backs in that division fell into your lap and that's the way it worked, or if it's just something that you know, or is the NFC North the thing that you know because you're a Vikings fan?
He's a Vikings fan?
Packers fan.
He's a
Whatever.
Vikings fan? Pat, how many whiskeys have you had
Whiskey's
tonight?
working. Hey!
Wow.
Okay, well, I was
Sure
looking
you,
at
Pat.
Sargenti's pretty
I
little
will
face
never
right
be
there
a
while
Vikings
looking at his
fan.
cup that he gave me, so oh well.
Packers all day. But still,
Anywho, Packers fan, same division, same stuff. They both suck. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. So,
well, I mean, one's the oldest franchise that has more titles than the other one, so there's that. But besides the point, so I honestly, no, I'm happy with getting Aaron Jones. He always does good. AJ Dillon, he's now the running back 2 for Green Bay, and Jones does have history of getting hurt. So I realized, you know what? Let me get his backup. You did mention yourself. In some leagues, you want to grab the starter, and best case, you want to grab the backup just in case, especially quarterbacks. Look at Chicago; they have an issue with their quarterback, so I thought running backs the same way. In Minnesota, Dalvin Cook, he does get hurt, not too much, but decent enough. And Madison has proved that he can be a great backup running back if needed. Williams, I know what he's done for Green Bay, and now he's in Detroit where running backs are hit or miss. Swift is either hurt or not, so I think Williams is going to get a lot of touches. He's a good backup running back if needed, especially on a bye week.
so familiarity.
You obviously do
It's
it.
basically what I'm asking here is, was it familiarity with the players that you picked, or was there something into because within 5 rounds, you picked 3 backups, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. You got to have some depth on your bench, and you got to find it wherever you can. Was the backup selection based off of the familiarity with the players that you had?
Honestly, a lot of players I wanted to grab were picked up, so I had to start thinking about who should I stash worst case scenario. And honestly, this was post draft. I just dropped Taysom Hill for Jordan Love because I realized if it's a dynasty league, you have your starters. How much longer does Tom Brady have? I know it was honestly I didn't know why I grabbed him, but I needed a second quarterback, and Tom Brady has a plethora of weapons in Tampa Bay, so he could fill up the stat sheet. But Aaron Rodgers is going to potentially his final year in Green Bay. If he wins the Super Bowl, he might stay. I don't know. But honestly, the way I see it, Jordan Love's a good stash because if he becomes the starter next year, he's going to have a good amount of weapons in Green Bay, which depends who stays. But I think we're going to have it'll be a good team. But outside of that, I look at the rest of the team. I'm happy with who I have. I mean, some of these players were kind of long shots. I don't know. I was on ground now, like Callaway, Beasley. They're names, but I know they could possibly do good. I mean, Beasley's in Buffalo. Josh Allen does like throwing to him. Callaway in New Orleans. I think he's going to be a good addition because when Michael Thomas is out, he looks like he could be wide receiver 1 or 2, depending on who else is playing. But honestly, I may have a lot of backups, but I think they all have potential to be starters when the time comes. That's my mindset. And yes, I know I grabbed a lot of NFC North team players because I know the division so well. They just happen to be names I thought about, but it's not like I wanted to choose all in one division, but it was just what was coming through. Just a thought. That was my mindset going into the draft. I need to know who was I grabbing, who was worth grabbing, and who do I know well enough that's going to make the difference for the team. Grabbing Adams was for my second overall pick. I had to choose between grabbing a running back or grabbing a wide receiver, and I realized, you know what? Adams is on the board. I could have grabbed another running back, I don't know, but you know what? I was happy with grabbing Adams as my number 2 pick and getting Jones as my 3rd. Honestly, though, that was just a good fall for me.
All right. So I'm just gonna go right to left on my screen here. Suts, you went very experienced in the beginning,
Experience.
and then you went very reachy coming down the line.
Yeah.
You got Trey Lance, you got Atwell, you got Ruggs. Yeah. Then you also have Stafford, Henry, Hopkins, Thielen. A good mix of players. But you seem to, in the beginning, go experience and something that's already there. And then you went after players who had the question marks next to their name, had the rookie next to their name.
Mm-hmm.
What was your outlook going into all of this? Was that a plan going into it, or did us talking about the old people you were drafting cause you to start looking at younger players midway through the draft?
No, I think that's pretty much just kind of how they fell to me. Like, what was it? I was gonna go with Tyreek Hill if he was available, but he wasn't, so I went Derrick Henry instead. I was gonna go with Pitts or Ridley if they were available in the third round, but they weren't, so I settled for Hopkins. And it kind of just went for that. Like Stafford in all my mocks, I had to reach for him because I was just really afraid he goes in the 5th round before me. Just looking at the other quarterbacks available, I think he's definitely the best one there. And then and then I made sure that I tried to get some younger guys. I really wanted Chenault, so I'm glad I got him there. Michael Thomas was a total mispick. Wanted Devonta Smith, and I'm pretty sure I misclicked there or something. I don't know. I was down to like 0 seconds, and I was like, So
Panic picks are always fun picks.
I just don't know why I didn't click him earlier. That would have been nice. But other than that, I'm glad I got Chenault, Ruggs, and really think we should talk about how I grabbed Nyheim Hines to handcuff Jonathan Taylor super late down there. I think that was I thought that was a nice little veteran move. Speaking of a veteran team,
I don't really consider Hines a handcuff. I think he has standalone value on his own in a PPR league.
Or that too.
I think he's your third round back. I think Marlon Mack is still handcuffed too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if Taylor goes down, it's Max Backfield, and then Hines is still a third down back. His value doesn't change, but I still think he has a lot of
Hines always good has value. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Returner, hands, PPR team, cat, whatever,
And then
in the draft.
Tried to go young with the last pick. That's why I'm really hard taking it. It's hard for me to pick up a tight end here because I don't want to drop this rookie on the Rams. I'm like, I kind of want to keep him for the first week or two, see what happens. But
nothing does. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you out here.
I need a tight end.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine needing a position player.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't mind if I did 21 the first.
Fits in a position. I would not. You do what you feel is best for your team.
All right.
I guess is the only way I should say this.
Wait, Michael Thomas isn't on the IR yet?
He will be. He'll be.
Okay.
I think he's on the PUP list though.
He is on the
PUP list.
Okay.
PUP list should be transferable to.
Can I put him on IR?
Not right now. It doesn't show him as eligible on my screen, but you could
Oh,
try
wait.
it on yours.
No, he's got a P. He should be eligible.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Yeah, now you can pick up your tight end.
You can add a
Cam
tight
Akers
end
didn't show anything on mine.
Yeah, it doesn't show anything on
Cam
mine
Akers
either.
has no designation, but I was able to put him on the IR.
That's
yeah,
weird.
Cam Akers shows as a P on my list.
All right, I'm gonna go get the tight end I want now. Then
There you
Nobody
go.
better pick him up.
That makes it easier for you.
All right, first stream of the week. I feel like this. I don't know why, but I feel like this is going to be the safest option.
We're all waiting with bated breath.
I think I'm going to get for it. But that's
while we're waiting for that, we'll move on to my next circle, my last circle. Matt, you went with a very experienced draft class. I won't say they're old. Deebo Samuel, third year. Josh Allen, third year. Mixon, hurt but back. Connor, a little bit older. Diggs, a little bit older.
Got that Diggs Allen stack though.
You threw in some rookies. Waddle's in there. Dynamic Brown, Fearmouth, coming out of the tight end. But you went a little bit more on the experienced end than the younger end. This is your second dynasty draft. So you've clearly felt out one of them before, and you felt this was the way to go. And I'm just curious to hear what your mindset, especially going off at number 2, because it's a place where you have to think 24 picks ahead. In the middle of the draft, sometimes you can kind of play around. But on the ends of it, you got to think. So what were you thinking?
So what I was thinking was that I wasn't going to take Stephon Diggs because a certain other person in this draft told me it would never fall to me at the second round, which he's now smiling with a smart-ass look on his face. And so I thought I was going to get Gibson there. So when he took Gibson and I took Diggs, the next time around, I was actually going to take Pitts, and then he went to pick in front of me. So it kind of screwed me up there for a second. But that's kind of why I didn't go running back. Like, I got Mixon in the 4th round. But after that, if you look at the rest of my picks, the better option was who I took compared to the running backs that were available. So my thinking here is that if I run with what I got this year of James Conner, Kenyon Drake, and whoever, I have Cam Akers sitting there, which makes it's easier for me to keep Cam Akers then because I don't have a starter. Because you're only doing that. It's hard to compare to the other Dynasty League I was in, which is my brother's, because we keep 15 out of the 20 guys. So we're only keeping a starting lineup. So in the end, when I got to the point where I was starting to draft, I took a couple of rookies. But in the end, unless I'm going to replace them for what, like, am I going to put, like, I have that tight end from Pittsburgh.
Freiermuth.
Am I going to put him in instead of Hawkinson? No. Like, to keep him? No. You know, like, it didn't make any sense to take more rookies at the end if I wasn't going to replace them with the guys I already had in there. But I didn't take any old guys. Matt Ryan was the only old guy I took. So I have a couple of guys that have 4 years experience, but, you know, I don't see the value in taking taking rookies later on if I can't keep them type thing.
It seemed like with your thing, towards the end of the draft, if there was a player who might show out, who might stand out, you grab them late, knowing that it was either going to be a drop or thank God I got this guy in the 14th round. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
Brown was probably the only rookie I took, but
yeah.
Based off the keeper league's rules in this league, I think you have a very solid starting lineup. And if Connor doesn't do anything, you throw Cam Akers in there, just like you said. So the players that sit on your bench right now are almost all players that either are going to outlive their expectations or you don't need to keep them anyway. And that seemed like that was the strategy you went for, was either awesome, great, fantastic, or, oh, damn it, see ya.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the example is Michael Gallup. Like, what are you going to get with him? Like, if Cooper's there and Zeke is there, like Jarwin does what he's been doing every year, like, what's Gallup going to get? But if Cooper goes down or Zeke goes down again and they got to throw the ball a lot more and Dax is Dax, you know?
It's a very high-powered offense in Dallas. Next man up is a next man up on a fantasy roster, too.
Yeah.
Quick question, Pat. When you say keep a starting roster, we're keeping position by position, or are you keeping the total amount that you would start.
Position by position.
Right. So you're going to be forced to keep a tight end, Suts.
Yes. You will be forced to keep at least one tight end.
I can leave that slot empty if I want.
You cannot.
No.
You got to throw at least one tight end in your roster.
What if I don't have a tight end on my roster at the end of the season?
We will fill it.
You'll figure
with
it
the
out.
worst possible
faith
tight
in you.
end.
Tim Tebow.
And now we're going to round it out. Mr. Sargenti, who, so I've looked through the teams quickly in this, and more, might need more. Trevor Lawrence, that's your QB1.
Yeah.
Biscuit.
What did you expect out of that when did you draft it for the future, or did you draft him to be your QB1? I guess I'm going to start there, because you seem to be in the position, and I'm sure you'll go over this as I let you speak, which I will shortly because I'm going to be out of alcohol again. Every time you wanted a player, he got picked right before you. Both ways. So coming this way and going that way. Both times, auto drafted, non-auto drafted, didn't seem to matter. The player that was on your watch list got picked 1 to 2 picks right before you, which is probably the worst spot in a draft to be in. It doesn't necessarily matter of the number. It's you plan out your draft strategy a certain way, and then every player that you've had on your watch list goes right before you were going to pick them. And it puts you in a situation where you may have a position in mind, but you got to kind of force it. And that is what it seemed like based off of your reactions that happened during this draft. And reaction error, your team is questionable at best. To start off with, if I look through your starting lineup right now, just that way for anyone who's not looking at it, Trevor Lawrence, Austin Eckler, Chris Carson, Tyreek Hill, Cortland Sutton, Mike Williams, George Kittle, Robbie Anderson, Brian Tannehill's in the Superflex spot. And your bench is a list of people who should probably not be on teams. So when you get stuck in a position where I'm sorry, look at his bench. When you get stuck,
you're not wrong.
Position
it's rude though.
where everyone is getting picked right before you, how does that impact what you're doing?
Very negatively, and you end up with a lot of players you didn't expect on having. I did not plan on getting Lawrence. That was a bit of a reach, but it's somewhat for the future. If he pans out to be what he is supposed to be, I've got a QB1 for the next 10 years we do this league. If he doesn't, that's going to be extremely unfortunate. But Tyreek Hill fell to me at the second round, which was nice. So at least I've got one player out of that. The other choice was taking one of the big running backs and then going tight end and just kind of pushing the quarterbacks later on. But I think with the upside that Lawrence has, taking a gamble on him is something that I'm worth taking a shot on.
The thing
I got a question for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Why did you pick Lawrence over Burrow, who showed he could play in the NFL?
I think Lawrence is ceiling higher.
Okay.
So
Burrow's solid. If I could have gotten with a QB2, that would have been nice.
Burrow had 2 picks after you picked Lawrence.
Yeah, he went at 12. So
he went at 12. You took him at 10. I just think if I was choosing between the two of them, I'd pick the guy that actually showed he could play in the NFL already.
Right. He's also coming off a major knee injury, so there is that issue too. The thing with Trevor Lawrence that I can get behind with him being a fantasy producer is because he's in Jacksonville. Blake Bortles was a top 10 fantasy quarterback because of playing in Jacksonville, playing behind constantly, throwing the ball a lot. Trevor Lawrence is going to put up fantasy points unless he's just absolute hot garbage. Gardner Minshew was a viable starting option when he first played. It's the nature of playing quarterback in Jacksonville. You're going to be throwing the football a lot. But I do side with my brother on this, where I personally would have taken Burrow, but I understood where you took Lawrence.
Trevor also adds in the rushing aspect.
He
and
does.
I know we haven't seen in the NFL yet. Burrow tried it and got killed. So I don't see a lot of that coming out this year. Maybe he
was his
gets
first
back
touchdown.
into it. Maybe he builds back into it. Maybe he gets that confidence back up. But Burrow got murdered. And that's going to sit with you for a little bit. Trevor Lawrence has that rushing ability. He doesn't have to get yelled at by a referee to get down because he's going to die if he doesn't, which Joe Burrow needed. Everyone's seen that clip on ESPN also. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to need that. Trevor Lawrence is going to slide when Trevor Lawrence needs to slide. He's a lanky white dude who needs to get the hell down. And I'm the biggest Clemson hater you will find. But Trevor Lawrence brings an extra aspect into your offense that Joe Burrow maybe doesn't. For my picking wise, and here's what I'll say to Sargenti again. His initial pick was going to be for Justin Herbert, and we all knew that. We all knew who he was looking at for a quarterback. And when your guy comes off the board right in front of you, you sit there and you look at, well, I was going to do this. Now what am I going to do with this? And you get kind of stuck in your head. I'm going to draft a quarterback. I'm going to draft Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's son of a... I'm still going to draft a quarterback because that's what I was going to draft in the first place. And then you sit there for 45 seconds and you stare at it and you go, rookie injured, proved he could put up points, might put up more points, and you kind of stuck there and then you just throw a pick out. And Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's going to be a bad pick. I don't think he's going to be a bad pick. It just struck me that he went off that early because he's unproven in the NFL. For me, I agree Joe Burrow should have gone ahead of Trevor Lawrence.
Well, he is technically my QB1, but honestly, the way Tannehill has played, I can slot him into a QB1 role the way he has been playing lately in Tennessee. He is actually, I have him in the other league of yours too. He's put up comparable numbers to Patrick Mahomes the last few years, as crazy as it is to say. Maybe not fantasy point-wise, but stat-wise and yards, touchdowns. He's put up similar numbers to Patrick Mahomes the last few years in Tennessee. So if Burrow ends up, Lawrence ends up coming out really slow, I can slot Tannehill up into my QB1 and then just put a different player in my Superflex.
And that's why I think the Tannehill grab was a great grab for you. I think that, I'm not trying to question that pick. I think that pick is...
Well, yeah, the Lawrence
on par
pick
with
kind
where
of
it needs to
created
be.
the Tannehill pick because I wanted more of a sure number 2 in that spot to give me a little bit more stability in that position.
I think overall you matched your picks up well. Like I said, I just feel like you got put in that hole. You got put in a hole in between 4 people who kept picking the people you were picking.
Yeah, that auto draft did a lot better than I
Rory,
thought it would.
McCarron.
Yeah.
Yeah, between the
I would
auto
have
draft,
like 3
Rory,
or players, like exactly you said. I had 3 or 4 players lined up, and then literally the draft happened, and my board was gone. And I was like scrolling through quickly. All right, who the hell can I find now? And it was I made 2 or 3 picks that were just
draft. That's what your
was
draft
us in the
sounded
middle
like,
rounds.
and what your draft felt like. Tim, I'm gonna let you go around the horn for whatever you got.
I don't got anything to add. If you like, I figured you and I could talk about our teams on the next episode, seeing as we have to do something for the next episode. But I really enjoy my team right now. Like I said, the only reach I think I did was when I took Higbee, where I did. But he's the guy I wanted, and 2 tight ends went after him, so I'm not entirely sure if Ricky or my brother would have taken Higbee if he was still there or not. There's a possibility they wouldn't have, but I didn't want to take the chance, so that's why I grabbed him. But other than that, I have no qualms with my team.
I'm going to tell you I wasn't taking him in the 2 picks after.
Well, I don't think anyone was taking him. I'll be honest. I think he was going to fall.
Whatever.
Yo, underrated for you,
I
Tim?
don't think he's gotten any sort of vibes off of preseason whatsoever. I think he's just sat in the same spot he's always sat in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the funniest part about Tyler Higbee is even when he was putting up those top 5 fantasy tight end weeks, he sat on waivers.
Yep.
No one was picking because they were like, well, next week he's not going to do that.
Nope.
Oh, well, next week he's not going to do that.
Oh, well,
next week he's not going to do that.
Oh.
And then it was like week 5, and it's like, well, next week he's not going to do that.
Well, shit.
And he did it again. And that was what Tyler Higbee became. He kept sitting there, and he kept doing it. And I think he gets a little disrespected because of the fact that there are 7 mouths to feed in that offense. And they've only added more.
Yep.
They just keep adding wide receivers. But the thing that I will say to that as a Rams fan is they haven't added any tight ends.
Nope.
It's the one position they feel confident in.
And Stafford proves
they
with
keep picking up.
Hawkinson,
they
he'll
keep
throw
doing
the tight
this.
end.
Exactly. They keep doing everything with every other position, but when it comes to tight end, they've just left Tyler Higbee there.
Yep.
He competed with Gerald Everett, and then they said Everett was like, "I'm leaving," and the Rams were like, "Oh no, we'll miss you."
And with the way my team's constructed, I don't need Tyler Higbee to be a stud. I need
Well,
Tyler Higbee to be consistent.
That's what my argument was going to be, because that's my fear with Tyler Higbee, though, is that he has shown that he isn't consistent. But maybe Pat's right. Maybe that's because Gerald Everett was there on the cohort on the opposite side, and Jared Goff found himself looking underneath for those dump-off routes that you get from Gerald Everett and from Tyler Higbee. So now moving into a system, you just made the point that Matthew Stafford as the new quarterback is going to be trying to look for him. What gives you that confidence? Because having someone like Tyler Hawkinson and then all the potential that he's been ringing for the past 2.5 years hasn't come to fruition. And now what makes you so confident that all of a sudden he's going to start looking the tight end's way?
TJ Hawkinson wound up as tight end 5 last year. So while TJ Hawkinson is not Travis Kelce, TJ Hawkinson still put up numbers that was a startable to top higher end of a tight end because of the points. That's the thing with the tight end position. If you're not drafting the big 3, maybe the big 4 now with Pitts, you're just looking for someone who's going to put somewhere between 8 to 12 points a week. If they put more than 12, great. But if my tight end puts up 8 points a week, you give me a 4 for 40, a 3 for 50, it's fine with me. The thing with Stafford is, and with the running back issue, they're going to be looking to throw the football in the red zone a lot more than running it, I think, because I don't think Sony Michel or Darrell Henderson mold well as a goal line back, in my opinion. So he's going to be looking for a Cooper Kupp out of the slot. He's going to be looking for a big body like Tyler Higbee in the end zone. Tyler Higbee catches 1 pass for 1 yard for 1 touchdown. That's 7 points. I'm good. I know that's lower than the 8, but he catches 1 touchdown. That's all that counts for me.
7.1 actually.
So here's the thing I'll say towards that. Just playing devil's advocate because I like the Tyler Higbee pickup. The Rams offense in the red zone has been anemic for the longest period of goddamn time.
And I think that's because of Goff.
And Tyler Higbee's been there.
Since the last time you had a first-round pick, in fact.
Whatever. Tyler Higbee's been there. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. They've all been there. So if there was something that McVay saw in the red zone, Josh Reynolds, who got dropped, what are they looking at? Because they're not finding Tyler Higbee in the end zone.
I think that's Jared Goff not finding the people in the end zone. And that's also when they first started, they relied a lot on Todd Gurley in the red zone. And when I say a lot, Todd Gurley got the ball all the time in the red zone. Todd Gurley got hurt. They didn't know what to do. They panicked. But now you have a different quarterback going in there, a smarter quarterback, better quarterback.
And he's on waivers in this league. So hold out whatever you want on it. Van Jefferson has been the person that has been looked at in the end zone. He's filled that Josh Reynolds role. He's their red zone target guy. He's sitting on waivers. Why is he sitting on waivers? Because we added 3 other wide receivers. You can't add 3 other wide receivers and get one of your 3rd, 4th string wide receivers picked up. But Van Jefferson is your red zone guy. So if there's anyone who's going to come in and swoop targets from you, it's going to be him. Because if you look at the Green Bay game in the playoffs, he was targeted 3 times in the end zone. He was their end zone guy. So Tyler Higbee doesn't come to me as a person who's going to automatically pick up red zone targets. I think Tyler Higbee is going to be a good tight end this year. But if you look at the makeup of their roster, and if you can look at me and tell me that Jared Goff was a great quarterback that didn't do exactly what Sean McVay told him to do, I'm going to laugh at you. Sean McVay runs that offense. And now maybe Matthew Stafford will have some input because he's actually a good quarterback.
Yep.
But it's going to be Sean McVay's offense. That's what he gets paid for. It's his offense. And he hasn't found Tyler Higbee in the red zone. He hasn't found Cooper Kupp in the red zone. He hasn't found Robert Woods in the red zone. He has found Van Jefferson in the red zone. He's sitting there on waivers, and he's going to stay there because that's where he belongs. There's 7 wide receivers on the Rams. But Josh Reynolds scored more touchdowns in the postseason than the rest of the Rams did because he found one wide receiver he liked in the red zone and he went for it. It's the same thing he did last year. He found Van Jefferson in the red zone. He liked him. He went for it. When you look at the big 3 of the Rams, and I'll give you Higbee as the 3rd, Kupp, Woods, Higbee. I don't think any of their value is based off of red zone targets.
I think Kupp more so than the other 2. Cooper Kupp is, 2 years removed from having 10-plus touchdowns? 3 years removed?
He was injured 2 years ago.
Okay, so yeah, he had 10-plus touchdowns, then he was hurt, and then last year the Rams' offense was stagnant, to say the least. So now, like I said, you're injecting a new quarterback in there, and when you looked at when Stafford was in Detroit, he wasn't just focusing on Kenny Golladay in the red zone. He wasn't just focusing on Marvin Jones in the red zone. He wasn't just focusing on TJ Hockenson. They actually spread the ball out pretty well in the red zone, which is what I think he's going to do. And the fact that I have 2 of the players on that team that I think is going to be a much better offense this year. It's not going to be like the Showtime Rams when they had that game against Kansas City where they put up over 100 points total. It's not going to be that offense. I think it's going to be a much better offense, but a lot of throwing. I'm perfectly okay getting all those targets between the 2 of the top 3 targets on the team are going to be on my roster. I'll take all those targets. Volume 3 success.
Does anyone who's here think that Tyler Higbee is going to be in the top 3 of targets?
I do.
On the Rams?
Yeah.
On the Rams specifically. Do you think Tyler Higbee is going to fall into the top 3 target getters of that team?
Probably, but that's not why he drafted him. He drafted him because he thought he would score touchdowns. That's what he said.
Red zone value.
And the problem with the Rams, specifically their offense, is they're short. They're a shorter team. Their wide receivers don't get over 6'1". So if the one big guy gets taken care of in the red zone, that's why they've struggled in the red zone. And they get rid of Todd Gurley, you don't have a big back anymore. That's why they've struggled in the red zone. That's why they lost the Super Bowl, because they didn't rely on Todd Gurley. So, I don't see that changing just because Matthew Stafford's there.
I think Stafford injects a little bit different into the offense.
Yeah, but it doesn't change Sean McVay, like Pat said. It still has Sean McVay there.
I think it helps. I think it helps Sean McVay rely on a quarterback.
Why? Goff was good. Goff was good the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Someone reach through this camera and smack him. I can't do it. My camera don't go far enough.
Smack Tim?
Tim, find him.
Digital smack.
Suts, go ahead. Raise your hand.
I was smacking him digitally.
Oh, thanks.
Makes sense.
Why are we smacking me?
Carry on.
Suts, you raised your hand earlier.
Oh, I just wanted to say, with all this talk about all the weapons that the Rams have, that's why I don't think Stafford was that much of a reach. I think their offense is going to be fantastic this year. I think they are going to be throwing the ball a lot because they don't have dedicated running backs. I don't know who they're going to hit in the red zone. but I know he's going to hit somebody.
Sometimes it'll be the other team, but yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's the right colored jersey. With
my only feeling on Stafford being a reach was this: you could have gotten him later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Stafford isn't someone you want on your team.
Yeah.
I'm saying you could have gotten him later.
I think I was planning
that's my definition of a reach is you could, like with Higbee. Yes, he's someone you're going to want on your team this year. You could have gotten him later.
Sure.
Matthew Stafford is someone that, looking at your draft position and the people who were going to be drafted after where you
could have
picked him.
switched Trey Lance and Matthew Stafford in your draft order, and this would not be a conversation.
Right, like Pat.
Exactly.
Pat, would you have taken Stafford over Fields if Stafford was there?
No.
I would not have taken Stafford over Rodgers if Stafford was there when I picked. So what
I
we're saying,
think,
it would have came back to you.
I think Stafford would have dropped.
Okay.
I honestly feel that Stafford would have fallen. I don't think.
I didn't want to.
And that's the only reason I say it was a reach. It's not that I don't think Stafford's going to be a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Why is everyone raising their fucking hands? I'm
already figured out the button. That's why.
It's about damn. It's just a button with a hand on it. It's not that complicated.
And the school teachers left. Like, why are we raising our hand?
Roy's first.
I love how it popped up with this. Is it sounds like you've said something. Do you want to lower your hand now? Like, yeah, thank you, school teacher, for telling me I spoke out of turn.
Hi, Rory.
Yeah.
I did want to ask like just a general question for you guys. Like I just since we all know how to pull up the draft results now, out of the last 2 rounds, who do you think had the best success and more likely to keep the players in their last 2 rounds? That's kind of the secret of Dynasty, right? Who finds that gem that is going to happen? And I'm going to go straight off the bat, and I'm going to nominate Tim. I know you didn't want to talk about your rosters, but I think the pickup of Derek Carr and Marvin Jones is kind of sneaky, suspiciously good there at the end, as well as the Jared Cook, Kobe Myers. Jared Cook changing scenery, he's going to the Chargers, has had good rapport with Justin Herbert as of late, like just coming in. And I mean, look at what Hunter Henry did with the Chargers last year. I think Jared Cook could have a surprising year, even though he is reaching the very end of his career at 35 years old. But like, what do you guys think? Looking at the last 2 rounds, I love the Derek Carr Marvin Jones pick. I just want to see your thoughts.
Question first: how do you pull up the draft?
If you look at
on the main page, it's the settings button in the very top center.
In the settings wheel.
Yeah.
Draft results.
It took me like 10 minutes to find it.
Yeah, I had to ask.
All right.
No,
Draft
was,
results.
thank God
Last 2 rounds, we're saying, right?
Find it myself.
So I'll jump right in and say that I do like my last 2 picks. I'm not going to say they're the best ones in the last 2 rounds, but the fact that Marvin Jones was sitting there for me in the last round kind of threw me off guard. I'm not going to lie, because he's been Trevor Lawrence's guy throughout the entire preseason. It's not DJ Chark. It's not been Laviska Shenault. It's been Marvin Jones. So taking a flyer, not really a flyer on Marvin Jones is my last pick, but a guy who's going to probably have immediate fantasy relevance to start
production, right?
In the last round of the draft, that was a no-brainer for me, and I wasn't even looking for him. I just scrolled and saw his name. I'm like, why is he here? I'll take
that
him.
wasn't the same way with
wasn't Rory's question who would get kept in the last 2 rounds?
Let me ask this question again. Is it who do you think got the best value out of the last 2 picks, or who do you think got the best players out of the last 2 picks?
I think I got good value out of Marvin Jones in the last round.
Yeah, I think it was a little.
I think you got good players in the
right?
last 2.
Like
I don't think
Tim Murray has the best value there
in the last 2.
The best value goes to Tim because God forbid Carson Wentz does get hurt. You could still see a nice 400-yard, 4-touchdown game from Derek Carr, like just when he balls out and they're behind by 3 scores, and he's just.
You mean when Carson gets hurt?
So last 2 rounds, if you think best value, I know he left, but if you get T.Y. Hilton and James White as your last 2 picks,
I agree.
A solid PPR running back. And just someone who was picked 14 rounds earlier last year, and you get that as your last 2 picks. I think that overall, as far as I get going for who's going to end up in starting positions and whatever else. But best value, T.Y. Hilton and James White are a very solid value for your last 2 picks, now I know that's one pick a whole round, and then it waited a whole round, and then he got the last pick. So it maybe kind of falls in a little differently as far as last 2 picks, because one of them was picked 24 picks before the last pick. But that is fairly solid value for what you're looking at. If Michael Pittman doesn't live up to expectations, if Carson Wentz over exceeds expectations, T.Y. Hilton is he's 31. He's not over the hill, guys. Not over the Hilton. Here, team name. He's someone who can still put up significant fantasy value. He's a wide receiver 2 in that offense at worst. Michael Pittman showed his ineptitude for deep balls. Carson Wentz loves deep balls. James White is the guy that when New England falls behind, which they're going to do with Cam Newton as quarterback, he's going to be there. Damian Harris is your initial down back, but James White gets touches no matter what happens in that offense. James White has always got touches no matter what happens in that offense. So if you're looking at value in the last 2 rounds, I think Ricky's the one who found it the best.
As far as
Hilton and James White, I think are the 2. If you combine what you're looking at for value in the last 2 rounds, I think he's the one who found it the best.
Yeah, I definitely second that. Those were 2 players that I actually wanted, and the only reason I went with Kirk and Atwell is, again, because I needed to, make my team a little younger. And so I figured, why not put your bet on a rookie as your last round pick instead of – because James White was who I was going to go with exactly. I mean, he gets touches. He'll be in the backfield on every 3rd down and probably more. And, I don't know, Christian Kirk is still young and a high-powered offense, but if T.Y. was there, I would have grabbed him.
Right. So as far as people who were taking the last 2 rounds that are likely to be kept, I'm going to go with one of those being Hunter Henry, picked by Rory, because we don't know how the tight end situation is going to shake up in New England. Jonnu Smith does have a history of getting hurt. Dallas Goedert's your other tight end. I don't necessarily have full-blown faith in him being the number 1 guy in Philly for tight ends. Hunter Henry could be a solid PPR floor tight end, so that'd be a guy that you would keep in your starting lineup. So as far as people you could keep, Hunter Henry. As far as Darius Slayton in the 15th round, Kenny Golladay gets hurt, which he is prone to been doing. Darius Slayton balls out like he was. Darius Slayton was not a guy
that was honestly I drafted 1 Jet, so therefore I must equal all things out and draft 1 Giant.
Darius Slayton has value if Kenny Golladay goes
Darius Slayton plays his own role.
Yeah.
Darius
well,
Slayton
we were praying that Berman didn't
take
him and he took Shepard on the other side. So we actually view Slayton a lot higher than Shepard because he's got that big playability, right?
Like, but that's all he has.
Well, but that's it. He's the home run hitter that we need for those bye week fillers. Or if, as Tim said, Galladay gets hurt, he's going to fill into that role spectacularly.
Which is what he did last year.
One receiver on the Giants that has a rapport with Daniel Jones, it's actually Darius Slayton. It's his stock only has risen from that.
And if I don't think Darius Slayton, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, you're the Giants fan in here. Darius Slayton's probably one of your wide receivers that actually doesn't get hurt.
No, he doesn't get hurt, but the problem with Darius Slayton is you're going to get 1 week where he's going to have 8 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the next week he's not going to get targeted.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. But that's what I was saying was going off of Roy's.
He's not one of those wide receivers that you can plug and play, and he's going to get his 7 targets a game. And
right as of right now, no. As of right now, no. But I think
you got to remember that wide receiver core in New York is crowded.
Right, but what I'm saying is if Kenny Golladay gets hurt, I think the value on Slayton does go up higher than it would for Kadarius Toney or for Sterling Shepard. I think Darius Slayton to me becomes a borderline flex play at that point, which does pro value at round 15.
But he's like a boomer bust player. That's the tough part with him.
He is the quintessential best ball player.
Yeah, I plugged and played him last week and got me 0 points on 0 targets. And there would have been better options, the guys that don't get tons of points but get points.
Yep.
He's a tough play like that.
Mm-hmm. Rory?
I do want to ask. I want to give you. I thought it was hilarious because I was clicking on Giants players. If I give you the over under of 8.5 listed running backs for the New York Giants, what do you take?
Over.
Probably over.
It is 10. It is 10 in Sleeper. They have 10 listed running backs, which is hilarious because every other team has like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Well, that's because Saquon.
They're literally like, line up, boys. We don't know what Saquon's going to be.
But that's why I was watching the whole last round, and I wanted. I saw Gabriel Davis out there, but I also wanted Devontae Booker, and I just kept watching because I knew I was going to be able to put Cam Akers on the IR, and Devontae Booker is going to be a starting running back for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever Saquon comes back, right? So it was worth picking him up after I put Akers on the IR.
Honestly, if I didn't,
are you concerned about Clement's like timeshare in that role?
No, Devontae Booker's the lead back.
One of them is going to be severely better than the other.
No.
Okay.
I think if anything, Clement works as a third down back.
Yeah.
If anything, I don't think he takes.
Devontae Booker will be the starting running back until Saquon comes back, and then you don't know what Saquon's going to come back. He had a pretty big injury, so it might take him a week or 2, 3 weeks to get under his feet. You know
who's a freak though? Saquon.
Yeah,
he is.
He is a freak.
So this was something that I said during our previous podcast of picking up the handcuff to your number one wide receiver, number one running back, number one quarterback, number one wide receiver when you drafted them. Make sure you get their handcuff. Because if you're going to invest that much into them, make sure you get their handcuff. And the only person that I left out of the entire board was Saquon Barkley. Because I don't think that any running back in the Giants system has any value outside of Saquon. Now, when it comes to where you drafted him, getting Devontae Booker that late,
or as a free agent,
I picked him up as a free agent.
Yeah,
exactly. Where you don't have to waste any draft capital on him whatsoever. It makes it a little different from drafting a handcuff, doing something like that. And as we discussed, I said Devontae Booker would just fall off the face of the earth, which is what he did. He fell into pickups, which you had a player to put on the PUP list. You had an IR player ready. You dropped them. You picked up Booker. And that is about where I rank a backup for the Giants, even as a starter. He's going to start when Saquon's not out. But
like the Denver backfield of last year.
He's so unworth a roster spot that no one drafted him.
Well, here's
people
the question.
Picked up rookies who were the fifth string people before they picked up Devontae Booker.
That's because offensive line's terrible.
And I completely agree with that. It's something that Saquon Barkley can create, and it's something that almost no one else can.
No.
In the position, I think picking up off waivers, great pickup. Not a player I would have ever drafted, and not a player that any of the 12 people here thought about drafting. But did you think about drafting him, Tim? Because he seems to be on waivers.
Well, no. Well, because like I said, Marvin Jones was just sitting there. If Marvin Jones wasn't just sitting there,
yeah, Marvin Jones,
Devontae Booker,
wide receiver.
Devontae Booker was on the queue if Marvin Jones wasn't sitting there.
What is Marvin Jones? The fourth wide receiver on that team?
What, Jacksonville?
Yeah,
he's the number one wide receiver in Jacksonville.
Yeah, sure is. So that's bullshit. Let's move on from that.
Right.
One quick question, Pat, for argument's sake.
You really think Marvin Jones is the number one wide receiver in Jacksonville? Over Chanel, over DJ Shark, over everyone else that's there. You think Marvin Jones is going to be the number one
based on the report? Absolutely. Based on the rapport he has with Trevor Lawrence, he's the only one that's shown chemistry with Trevor Lawrence.
In 2 preseason games.
And from everything coming out of training camp. But yeah.
Anybody else think Marvin Jones is a number one wide receiver?
I thought Rory did. You didn't think Marvin Jones was
number 3?
He's maybe the 3 on that team.
Maybe the 3, maybe the 4.
He's 100% the 3, but I think he brings more value as a 3 to Jacksonville than he would on any other team.
And that's fair, but he's a wide receiver 3. He's not a wide receiver 1.
His only flaw is if he can stay healthy. That's his biggest issue.
Devontae Booker is a running back 1 right now. Devontae Booker is the starting running back of the New York Giants
for like 2 weeks.
Marvin Jones it's the last round pick of the draft. Devontae Booker is a starter. Marvin Jones is your wide receiver 3. And yet Marvin Jones is getting drafted over Devontae Booker.
Okay.
The starting running back of the Giants outside of Saquon Barkley means nothing. I know.
I do have one question about
so I'm going
Saquon
to try to
Barkley.
catch him up real fast.
One question about that. Let's say, for argument's sake, Gallman stayed in New York. Would he have been a good pickup based on what he did last year when Barkley was out?
No one is a good pickup behind Saquon Barkley.
Please see Pat's response above. Same thing. It doesn't matter. You could, unless it's a better running back than Saquon Barkley. The answer to that question is nobody.
The tough part about the Giants is that you need a guy that can create plays no matter what's in front of him, and that's what Saquon Barkley can do. The guy can do things that nobody else can do, and it's insane to watch him do them. And if you don't have that, it's hard to replicate that when you have an offensive line that's mediocre. It's not, it's
consistent.
Yeah,
you can
they
say
fixed everything else on the team. They forgot to fix the one thing. It's going to keep Daniel Jones
Adam
up
Schefter's not pulling this up in the morning to figure out how he feels about his thing on Get Up and ESPN. You can say their offensive line is non-existent. No one cares.
They have pieces there, but they don't have an offensive line that's going to work well together.
Non-existent. Okay. But the wide receiver 3 on Jacksonville got drafted ahead of the running back 1 in week 1 only on the Giants.
I would say Daniel Jones is a more reliable running back on that team than Devontae Booker would be.
And Daniel Jones gets tripped up by the 20-yard line.
Just once.
Those lines are scary.
Yeah. Well, it's not like seeing ghosts.
Nowhere.
It's like he saw ghosts or something.
It's like short line. Oh my God, what's this big line? And then you fall over.
I mean, Tim did draft the running back that got cut from the Falcons roster.
Yep,
I did.
We could also say that was drafted before the actual starting running back of the Giants. Is that how bad their O-line is?
And that's how bad the starting running back that's not Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants is. And that was the only person that I said not to handcuff was Saquon Barkley. He was the only one. Everyone else that you draft, if you drafted a quarterback early, handcuff him. If you drafted a running back early, handcuff him. If you drafted a wide receiver early, handcuff him. If you drafted Saquon Barkley early, pray. Because there's no one there. There's nothing. It's Saquon Barkley, or Barley, now that I have had enough drink. Saquon Barkley or nothing. And I think the fact that the starting running back of the Giants got dropped to waivers says everything it needs to about the situation outside of Saquon Barkley.
I also think if Barkley was going to be out longer in the season, it would have been a different story.
They would have went for someone else. They would have went out and drafted a running back or something like that. But they didn't do anything like that because they had faith that Saquon Barkley was coming back.
He's going to be back by like week 3. He's going to practice this week. He might even play on Sunday.
Yeah, so I think Saquon Barkley's back sooner than later. And I think if there's anybody that can repeat what Adrian Peterson did when Adrian Peterson had the same injury, it's Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's the only running back I have faith that it can do that.
And the pieces on offense are better outside the offensive line.
Yeah, Kenny Golladay stays healthy. You can spread the offense out. You're not stacking 8 guys in the box against Saquon Barkley anymore.
Even putting Rudolph and Ingram in the game at the same time is better than what they were putting in the game last year.
By the way, I got rid of that running back, Rory. Thank you for telling me he got cut. I didn't realize that when I drafted him. But...
You weren't here when you drafted him. I made a comment during the draft, and you weren't there. I was like, I think he just got cut, and we talked about it, and you weren't here to listen.
Yeah, I was.
You were not.
I had a problem that I needed to address.
Yeah, we know what you were doing.
Yeah,
we know you were having an emergency.
I did. I almost didn't make it.
To the bathroom, which is the door right behind them.
Are there actual closed captions? No, I didn't go to the bathroom behind.
It is.
That's not work. No, if I have to do that, I go upstairs.
Why? You're home by yourself. Why does it matter?
Because that's where my toiletries are. That's where my wipes are.
Okay, so here's what I want to know from everyone that's here now.
Do you use butt wipes?
And we're gonna go around again. Who was your best late round grab? I'm sorry. Did you feel like you wanted to end this? Because you could end it.
Well, here's the thing. We're sitting on
Listen,
3 hours and 9 minutes.
The four people who watch this can just hit end.
Well, here's the thing.
It's okay.
We're gonna go rapid fire. You say who it is. No reasoning behind it. Just say who it is, and Pat and I will discuss it next week whether or not we agree with you. That good for you guys?
Ahead.
Okay.
Are you tired?
What constitutes as late round? Like how late?
Whatever. Who is your best grab? Who is your best grab in this draft? That's all I care about. Who do you think your best grab in this draft was? I'm gonna start at the top. Tim Murray, go.
Russell Gage.
Okay. Matthew Sutts, go.
Philip Lindsay.
Okay.
Okay.
No, Sam Darnold.
Matt
Sam
Murray. I would have
Me?
gone Sam Darnold for you also. Matt Murray.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Michael Merrill.
I'm gonna say Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams. Rory O'Connor.
Hunter Henry.
And Andrew Sargenti.
Elijah Moore.
All right. My best late round grab was Ryan Fitzpatrick for all those who are playing at home. And Tim?
Yep.
Close us out.
So that was a great episode, guys. I appreciate everyone that joined, the people that have left. Thank you guys for joining as well. If you stuck around and watched this entire 3-hour-long podcast,
you're an idiot.
Seek help.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you more than you know. So I'm Tim Murray again. This is for everyone else that's in the room. Thank you guys for joining, and have a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon.